Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? Just in time. We're just in time. Talking about perfect timing today.
Meeting, if I can call everyone to order. Mr. Herman, put your signs down. That's the only warning you're going to get. If I see them again at all, you're going to be removed from this meeting.
Oh, Mr.
You will
Herman.
not put those disgusting signs up. If I even see it, you're gone.
And may I, if you don't mind, Mr. President, I'd also point out
May
those
I?
signs are blocking the views of people
Of course.
participating
may
in
I?
violation of the rules.
And
Jesse,
they're in
thank
direct
you so
violation
much.
of the express rules of the council, as I've warned Mr. Herman on multiple occasions. As long as we're talking about that, just because we have a lot of people here
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh,
on items,
hold on a second, guys.
I just want to say this one time that
wanna get the red
there
bar
won't
off.
be any disturbances
No?
allowed of this meeting.
There we go.
Shouting out and other kinds of activities that disrupts the council's ability to do its work on behalf of the people of Los
No, he ain't
Angeles
dumb.
won't be tolerated. I'm warning everyone of that now, and we'll deal with that if it comes up. I hope it will not. So with that, we're ready to begin our meeting. So, Madam
Good morning to everybody. It's great to see you guys. Happy Tuesday. Yessie, thank you so much for the 10 gifted Tier 1 subs and everyone who just got a free sub from Yessie. Welcome to the family.
phone. If so, it will be very, very abbreviated because we have a absolutely full house here in council chambers today. So
abbreviated
we're
phone
gonna
calls.
be having to limit public comment,
Of course.
in order to get through our agenda.
Of course, we gotta.
But let's.
We
with
gotta
that,
big
Madam
ups to
Clerk,
all
let's
these
go ahead
idiots
and
who
call
do
the roll.
nothing, so we could not hear from the
Blumenfield,
public. You know how that
Harris
works.
Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee,
Jim Eaton,
McCosker,
thank you, Jim.
Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 12
you.
members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
First order of
And a
business. please.
quorum,
Approval
12.
of the minutes of May 12, 2023.
Councilmember Price moves. Councilmember Hutt seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Park moves. Councilmember Lee seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
Thank you. If I could ask
Everybody
everyone
stand
please
up like a good little
to please
kid.
rise, and Councilmember
Put your
Rodriguez,
hand over
would
your
you please
heart.
lead us in the flag salute.
And
Absolutely, thank you.
lead us in
Right
the
hand over your
salute.
heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Just
and to
like
the
a little
republic
kid
for which
in
it
elementary
stands,
school.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You motherfuckers don't care about liberty, justice, or anything as long as it's for you. And for anybody else, you don't give two fucks. Oh, they already got the stupid fucking basketball. Holy shit. Some poor sap's going to have to get a
All right.
signed basketball by these
Thank you,
fucking
Councilmember
disgusting
Rodriguez.
pieces of dog
Madam
shit.
Clerk, if we could please run through the agenda.
Items 1 through 6 are items for which public hearings have been held. The Personnel Audits and Hiring Committee report for item 3 has been circulated and posted to Council File number 23-1200-S101. Items 7 through 23 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Item 24 is a closed session item waived from the Budget Finance
your
and Innovation
Kofefi
Committee.
mug?
10 votes are required for consideration.
Very
Some
good.
Amsterdam.
Without objection,
Some
those items are now
C47, some
before us.
James.
Members, are there
Some
any
Kurt,
items that you would
Rocket,
like to call special?
RG,
Any
Lone,
items
Tim,
among those to be called special?
Scooby, Dab, Sammy, Ron, Jesse, Venom, Bionic. It's great to see you
Oh,
guys.
Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Oh,
Take your
Councilman.
time.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Item 1. Okay, item
Yeah.
1 will be called special.
Thanks again, Jim.
And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Thank you. What's
Oh,
up,
sorry,
Matt?
Mr. President, I have a
Good
a
run for the
motion
Kraken,
on
yeah.
item 19 that will be circulated at some point. If
But
I
we
could-
can say really quickly, man, shout out to those Edmonton Oilers, the last little hope that Canada had. Shout out to you Oilers. Guys, another year goes by when you guys will tell me this is Canadian sport. Yeah, another year's going to go by since 1993 that not one Canadian team has raised that cup.
Ambrosia Apartments housing project located at 800
Message.
816 West 85th Street in Council District 8. And again, that's for item 19, adopt.
Somebody does owe me
recommendation
money, X, but it's all right.
communication.
I feel bad for them. Their team
Thank
did
you.
exactly what my team did.
And is there a second?
My team, first year, bounced in the first round by the Edmonton Oilers both years in a row. Edmonton beat the Kings twice, got bounced twice in the second round.
Mike was not on. Can you?
Oh,
Come here,
I
Stinks.
just said I was presenting it in lieu of Councilmember Harris Dawson because he's
Thank
not
you.
here right now.
Hockey, eh?
And Mr. Price.
Councilmember
seconds.
Price will be second.
All the Canadians are
Thank you
mad at
very
me
much.
now.
Councilmember Hernandez.
I love you guys, though.
I would like to continue item 10 for 2 weeks, please. It's a REAP removal. Thank you.
Your fan keeper of goats
Thank you,
is
and to
rude
confirm
as
that would be
fuck.
2
Who the
weeks
hell
to
is
May 30,
what?
2023.
Your fan keeper
Very good. Without objection, that'll be the order.
of
Councilmember
goats
Rodriguez.
is rude as
Thank
fuck.
you.
I
I'd
don't
like
even
to call
understand
item
what that
7,
means.
special
And there's the
questions.
biggest Knight fan I know, Irma
Item
and
7?
Matt. Shout out
Okay.
to them. Congratulations to you and your
Any other
team.
specials, member?
Moving on.
Okay.
out to
seeing
Matthew
none, Madam Clerk,
and Irma.
what items are before us that we
Don't
can
understand
vote
what
on
that
at this
means,
point?
Wes, but have a good day.
The council may vote on items 2 through 6.
I only understand English. I'm not bilingual.
Those items are now before us, members. I see no members wishing to be heard, so let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
12
Did
ayes.
anybody understand what he wrote right there? I mean, I get it. I'm not a
Very
millennial.
good.
I'm not
With
a.
that,
I'm not a Zoomer. I
I'm
don't
gonna
understand.
Recognize
like,
Councilmember
that.
Lee. Are you
I understand English.
prepared? Do you have an announcement?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. And colleagues, normally we do a formal presentation.
What the hell's a fan
but unfortunately,
keeper?
We're trying to get this before the school year ends.
Go beat another
and we were
goat.
waiting for the final results. And if the Sierra Canyon girls
Well, who's the
basketball
greatest? Who's
team
the goat that we
wouldn't mind
beat, Wes?
standing up.
Still don't understand. There's another guy named Keeper of Goats. Oh, okay. Who's Keeper of Goats? I don't see him in here. Where's his name?
These young
I see
ladies,
him there.
these young ladies were recently
there he
announced
is. I
by
see him now.
ESPN as
Keeper.
the national
Be nice. I'll
champions
kick
for
you out.
girls basketball in the United
What
States.
are you doing? Oh, here we go. Basketball time, guys. Basketball time.
They're led by their coaches Alicia
I see 'em
Alicia
now,
Kamaki,
Tanner. Thank
Steve
you. I
Veer,
didn't see
Kyle
'em.
Davies,
Hey,
Hiroshi
hey,
Abdul.
hey.
Our players are Crystal Wang, if you don't mind standing up, Crystal Wang, Sophia Ruelas,
stinks.
Elisa Evangelista, Natasha Bay, Juju Watkins.
Dude, he's like screaming
McKinley
into the mic.
Randolph,
Sorry, guys.
Azalea Arenas, Christy Reynoso,
Hey, what
Sabrina
are you
De
doing?
Leon, Kayla Malik, Leah Edwards.
What are you doing,
Amelia
fat boy? Go in your
Kristevsky,
chair so everybody can see
Jalen
you.
Samuel, and Layla Bowens. Big round of applause for our national champions.
Big ups to the ladies. Big ups to the
These young
national
ladies
champs.
won
Don't
the
big up
Division
to the
State
city
Championship
council.
in
They can suck a dick.
2021-22 season. In the 22-23
What's up, BJ?
season,
How
the
are you?
Sierra Canyon team won the
Phil,
school's
thank you for
first open Division
26
Southern-
months.
Sou-
Jeez,
Southern
Phil.
Section crown.
You, Phil,
And in
are
2022, at one point, the Sierra Canyon Trailblazers had a remarkable 31-0
up, Dad?
record.
How are you,
all
Dad?
while holding a team average
I can't.
3.9 GPA. And even with the one loss, this team was still the consensus number one. And this team has proved itself over and over with grit, talent, and teamwork. And on this team,
Oh,
I
nice,
wanna make a
Cass.
special
Good to
note.
see them getting
There's
out
one,
there.
Player, Juju Watkins.
He's doing okay, Calamity. He's
Juju,
playing
ready?
around trying to get my hat.
Right there,
He
okay.
left. I don't know.
Juju, as a
trying to get my
junior,
trooper
she was
hat.
named Gatorade California Girls Basketball Player of the Year. The John R. Wooden Player of the
Hi,
Year
Terry.
for the CIF
Morning.
Southern
What
Section
up,
Open
Marcel? It's
Division,
good to see you.
and
Good
was named
morning.
the Los
Are you in the
Angeles
helicopter
Daily
right now,
News
Marcel?
after
You have to
averaging
be.
25 points, 10 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2.7 steals,
All right, guys.
and only 2 blocks per game this season. This year, she was named Gatorade Player of the Nation of the Year. So congratulations, Juju.
Big ups to her.
Can you show the Gatorade Player of the Year trophy if you don't mind?
You fogged in? It's foggy outside?
Right there.
Not foggy here.
As the best player
Dang,
in
that's
the
crazy.
nation right there in women's basketball, high school basketball.
Can't get a chase when they're fogged in.
We have with us
Venom.
a team captain.
He's grounded right
If you
now.
don't mind, this is
But that means he's waiting. If it pops off and the
captain of the team.
weather moves, he's ready to go.
Hi. Our team is very honored to receive this recognition today at City Hall.
Hi, Frosty.
Speaking here today is an honor, but also an amazing opportunity to recognize our team, what we represent, and the work we have put in to receive this honor today. Instead of a team, we consider ourselves more as one big family.
First hit,
Each and
blazing.
every one of us
Waking
has
and baking.
contributed to our success through the
first one
different
of the
roles
day.
we have played. Our coherent drive, determination, and passion to strive for greatness. Every year
Hi,
we
Turtle.
have a theme, and this year our theme was good to great. Though we had an amazing season last year, we knew that this year we would have to go above and beyond our normal efforts to achieve something as grand as a national championship. And with each of our efforts, perseverance through practices, strenuous trips to games, and sacrifices throughout the season, including missed holidays, Our efforts have translated into success.
Lemon cherry
Thank you
gelato
again
sounds
for
good, Rick.
welcoming us to City
Enjoy.
Hall, and we hope with this recognition we can inspire future generations
Sam.
to strive for their own greatness and goals as well.
Yeah, Panda, I've had that one forever. I love old Star Wars mugs.
And Coach Kamaki, do you mind saying a few words?
You like the blue hair on her, on that old biddy?
I really just want to thank everybody
Okay,
for
yes.
having us here today. It's been an incredible run. I've been at Sierra Canyon for 11 years.
That one right
and,
there?
This was an exceptional group. It's and
purple.
Our first national
It's almost
championship,
purple.
So very proud to represent this team and appreciate everybody being here today.
But I've seen that happen. I think it's just like a reaction to the too much dying, maybe?
Mr. President, I think over and over in the last couple of months, we have signed several basketball for several girls basketball
Almost done with
teams
my runs.
throughout our city of Los Angeles. We should.
I got the
be
last,
so
like,
proud
ounce
as
and a
city
half.
to have so many amazing teams representing our communities. But to Sierra Canyon, just
there
wanna say
shampoo
thank you.
that's
I've
turning
enjoyed
their hair
watching your
color?
games,
Really?
Enjoyed watching you reach this amazing milestone.
Oh,
and
whatever it is, I don't use it. Oh,
and
my
to
hair
Juju,
purple.
Besides, having to go to play for USC against my wish.
That's why you got to follow in more than one spot, not half.
But we wish you great success.
Or
in
double
all
check
the
your
work going on to
double
the next
check your
level. Great success.
your
And thank you guys
notifications
for being
maybe
here today.
too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
That dude in the dude 4 over from the
Thank you
girl,
very
the
much,
lady
Mr.
with the
Lee,
purple
and
hair looks like Carl
congratulations,
Malden.
Ladies, I think in the entire time that I've been on the city council,
Would you let me
I don't think
interview
we've
you?
ever
Sure.
had
Why
a
not?
high school national champion team
Let me
here.
turn this up a little.
So you are breaking barriers for this city council, and we couldn't be more proud of you.
For
and,
the
and
city
Mr. Lee kind of
council or
glossed
for
over
you?
it quickly, but just to, again, I wasn't
always
sure
for
if I
you.
heard- Where
It's
did
never about them.
Juju
It's always for
commit to
them.
play her college basketball this year?
I've already forgotten. I'm not sure, but
Was
some school
it the
that
University
around-
of Southern
some school
California?
in this area. I'm not
Just-
sure.
No,
Just,
that's the condoms. That's where
Fight
the
on,
condoms
Juju.
go. That's where
And
the condoms
congratulations, everyone. That's
go.
and
Yeah. Fuck the condoms.
uh,
Fucking Trojans. The condoms. You mean?
all right.
You
Thank
mean
you very much,
condoms,
Sierra Canyon.
not
With
Trojans,
that,
condoms.
Mr. Soto Martinez, are you prepared for your presentation?
They ain't using Trojans.
You have
They
the floor.
ain't using Trojans. They ain't using Trojans. Yeah, Rick, he's not here. Yeah, well, he's not in the chambers anyways. He may be in the back drinking, but the racist guy is not here.
Thank you so
He
much.
sits
Are there
right,
folks from the
right there.
ACLU SoCal?
Not this guy, but right next to where
Yeah,
this guy's sitting is
come
his,
over here on this
his
side.
desk.
Oh, yeah, come.
Come on, Camellia.
Just go around.
Calamity Girl, I don't want to really put that out so I get spammed with all kinds of shit. There's got to be another way that I can send it to you. Do you follow me on Instagram? On Smoke and Scan Instagram? If you do, or Twitter. I'm sorry, or Twitch. If you follow me on Twitch or Instagram, you can just send me a message and I'll send it to you. Yeah, it's a full house. That's why
thank
they
you so much to my colleagues for this opportunity.
Sucks.
And so, we're here to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the ACLU SoCal, which happened to be yesterday. Last week, we heard the amazing history by my colleague and friend, Tim McCosker of Upton Sinclair, and sort of what led to the founding of ACLU SoCal. But, we look back at the 100 years of this happening. I want to go sort of a brief history of some of the things they've done for our city and for our country. And so, as mentioned last week, after the founding of the SoCal, ACLU fought against the California Criminal Syndicalism Act that was used to crush dissent and protect union busting until it was finally declared unconstitutional.
He couldn't even pronounce
In
it.
1931, an ACU SoCal attorney was kidnapped and beaten for defending vulnerable farm
don't see
workers
Mr. Sachs.
that only added more fuel to the fire in their mission. ACU SoCal fought against internment camps in World War II, and after the war, they fought for reparations for those folks that were in prison during that time. They fought against desegregation in LA schools. In 1960s, they fought for abortion access, winning cases that eventually laid the roadmap for Roe versus Wade. And when LAPD tried to shut the first ever Pride Parade here in the city of Los Angeles, in LA through extreme permitting requirements, the ACLU SoCal stepped in, and the Pride Parade went on in my district in Hollywood and McFadden.
Oh, Hollywood. Looks
And
great,
on
right?
On a personal note,
Now you know why Hollywood looks so great. He's doing such great work, giving out signed basketballs and shit while your city looks like shit. Especially that part of the city that he controls.
by the sheriff deputy gangs in Compton.
Every day,
Many
getting
folks
worse
don't
and
know,
worse
but,
in Hollywood.
Andres Guardado was the son of my good friend Cristobal Guardado. Him and I worked together.
We
on
don't
the
care
kitchen
about you and
line,
your fucking
at the
friend
LA
Cristobal.
Marriott downtown, which is now the
We don't
LA
care.
Grand. He was a leader who helped organize the union into that. And so I learned about the work that they were doing with the sheriffs, and we've had just a wonderful relationship and partnership that culminated in the ousting of Sheriff Villanueva and the passage of Measure
That's
A
got to be
just
Mr.
last
Herman
November.
if he's playing around his hands.
And so they've done so much to stand up for our rights in our communities, and the most marginalized in our communities. And so, we're here to celebrate them, and I do want to give the floor to the Executive Director, Hector Villagra, but I just want to leave with some parting words that as we're facing so much hate, so much anti-Semitism, anti-Armenian, anti-Asian, transphobia across the country, I think it's more than ever that in moments like this, we double down. These folks who impede on our rights and bring hate don't react to niceties.
You mean like the guy
they only
that's
react to,
that your
being
fucking
confronted in
coworker,
the
your
most
constituent?
strongest
You mean
way.
like that
And so
same
with that,
guy
I do want to give the floor to
that
Mr.
made fun of
Villagra.
all the people that you just fucking talked about except for Armenians? You mean that guy? The one that you don't have the nuts or guts to throw out? You mean that guy? You mean fighting racism as long as it's not your constituent?
Sinclair
I got
stood
it.
before a group
I
of
got
striking
it.
dock workers in San Pedro
I got it.
and began reading from the First Amendment to the United States Constitution.
I got it.
He
I
was
see
still
you.
in the middle of the first sentence when police hauled him off to jail, arrested him, and kept him incommunicado for 3 days. Sinclair's arrest sparked the creation of the ACLU of Southern California, the first local affiliate of the ACLU in the country. And for 100 years, the ACLU SoCal has lived up to the
Not
spirit
one person do they care
of
about,
courage
Nelson. Not
and
one.
defiance
You're right. I
that
see you,
Sinclair
Nelson.
showed and those striking dock workers showed. Throughout the 20s and 30s, we
Me
continued
too,
to defend
NT.
the rights of workers to strike and picket. And as you heard, we fought
he's
against the
doubling
criminal
down.
syndicalism law, and we didn't give up until we struck it down in 1968.
That's right,
We were
Ashley.
one of the few organizations to stand up for the rights of persons of Japanese descent shamefully imprisoned during World War II.
By Democrats.
We led the
All the people that
opposition
are
to
in their
the
party
loyalty oath enacted during
did
the
that.
McCarthy era.
Okay, they
The
did that.
California Supreme Court finally struck it down in 1967.
Wasn't Damon telling you about that yesterday?
Civil rights in the 60s
the other
and
day?
reproductive rights and
Damon
LGBTQ rights in the 70s. We joined the long battle to desegregate Los Angeles public schools. We convinced the California Supreme Court to become the first to strike down a statute preventing a woman with the advice of her doctor from having an abortion. And we opposed
There goes
the Briggs
Mr. Herman. Look at him.
Initiative,
Look at him.
which would have banned gays
You see him
and
right there? Look at him
lesbians from working in public
opening his
schools.
mouth while he's chewing in
the
between the
80s,
chick.
we were
Look at him.
among
Look
the
at him. Look
first
at him. Look at him.
organizations to support
Look at
the
him.
rights of persons with HIV. In the 90s, in the wake of the LA uprising,
They
we
changed the
pushed for
camera angle so
reform
you
of
wouldn't
the
see him.
LAPD. And in 2004, we forced the state to accept
Oh,
responsibility
he's on one.
for ensuring all public schools
He's on
meet
one.
basic standards when it comes to teachers, textbooks, and facilities.
You can't
In
sit still over there.
2011, we joined the Council of American Islamic Relations of Greater Los Angeles in suing the FBI for infiltrating Muslim mosques and targeting its members for surveillance solely because of their religion. That case continues
Sounds Democrat to
today.
me.
And in 2017, we represented an Iranian man who flew
You're
from
buffering,
Tehran to
Christina?
Los
It's
Angeles
not on my
to visit
side.
family
Refresh.
members. But because of the Trump administration's Muslim ban, he was detained at LAX and forcibly placed on a flight back to Iran. While he was in the air, however, we obtained a landmark victory against the ban.
Tommy.
And we obtained an order from the court
What's up, Tony?
demanding that the federal government bring him back to the United States. I could go on, but at the heart of
Please
all
don't.
these struggles is the extraordinary courage of ordinary individuals.
It's funny how they always talk about people's struggles, but they don't tell you who made those people struggle. Which group of people made those people struggle? Right? They just told you they struggled. And tell you who made them struggle. Because it's their own group that made them struggle.
Attorneys, paralegals, organizers, communicators, fundraisers, and operations staff were honored and grateful for this recognition. Thank you.
Stop messing around.
Thank you. We thank you, Councilmember Soto Martinez for bringing the ACLU to us today. A longtime
Yes.
friend and supporter of this community,
Yeah.
providing leadership across the board. We thank you for all your service at ACLU.
Who
And
pays this,
congratulations
man?
on another milestone.
You and me, Big Mac. We pay this
Councilmember
motherfucker.
Hernandez.
We pay for that ugly ass
Hold on,
fucking
please.
suit he picked out.
Wait, my friends,
I'm
don't go
sorry.
anywhere.
There's
Don't
more.
go anywhere. There's more. There's
How could you
17
leave
more
without
people.
letting me say something.
Hey.
Especially you, Andres,
Eek.
one of my favorite people. Thank you so much, Council President, for letting
She's
me
done
speak.
snacking, so
Thank you,
let's hear her
Councilmember
talk.
Hugo Soto Martinez, for lifting up the ACLU and their 100 years of being active and fighting in our city, in Southern California. It has been one of the greatest honors of the work that I've done for nearly a decade around criminal justice reform, other policies to bring our people home, around crimmigration. Around
Did she say
Andres
crimmigration?
Guardado.
Crimmigration?
Around Measure A for accountability that passed.
Crimmigration?
with record numbers. No other ballot measure.
Is that burdensome?
Passed at the record that Measure A did, and you all did that. But one of the ways that you did it is by taking the lead of community. Taking the lead of people who have been most directly impacted by these issues and uplifting them and moving them forward. Measure R, that helped create sheriff civilian oversight. Measure J, that said, LA County, we want you to move 10% of locally generated tax dollars back into community for young people services, and over 2 million voters said yes. And in all of those cases, you all took the lead of people who have been most directly impacted. Some of my favorite people in this work come from the ACLU.
In this
Peter
work?
Leisberg, Jessica Ferris.
In this field?
You, Andres. And I'm just so happy that y'all are getting recognized in the flowers that you all deserve, because you all have been doing phenomenal work, but it's been in the last several years, in the last decade or more, that I can just see how you all have evolved and really have helped us get a lot of these things over the finish line. So thank you so much. There's so much to do, but you have partners and allies here, and thank you so much for uplifting them. Appreciate you.
Oh, my beautiful Stradivarius.
Thank you, Councilmember. And again, thank you to the ACLU for all the work that you do and for your commitment to this community.
It's shocking she's not married. Yeah, that's the snacker, Robert. She likes to snack.
Okay, we'll now prepare for a council presentation.
I figured
from
you, like, besides
Council
maybe
President
drinking a
Decoy.
drink, water or coffee, there really shouldn't be anything you're ever eating at these tables, ever. It's one thing to have a sip because your throat is dry and you need to speak. I get that, water, coffee, tea, I get it. But you shouldn't have a bag of corn nuts or a granola bar or
Thank
some
you very
Oreos.
much, Mr. President. I'm proud to be joined
Never.
by Councilmember
Not one
Hutt,
time.
for this important presentation as well. And if I could,
Yeah, look at
ask,
him, look at him, look at him,
folks
look at
to
him,
come on
look
up
at him.
from Stop Senior Scams. Come on up and join us up here. Members, I know that every one of our offices has had to deal with a situation
Fucking love
from
you.
time to time where you've heard from one of your constituents who is terrified because something has happened where they feel like they've been taken advantage of. Somebody has scammed them. Somebody has called them and tricked them into doing something, revealing information that made them vulnerable.
I swear that's Carl Malden.
To theft or other kinds of abuse.
That older man looks like
I
Carl
had
Malden, the big guy,
constituent not
right
long
behind the
ago
president.
who called me and
Carl
was
Malden.
on the phone as he was calling me. He was on the phone with somebody who claimed to be from the Department of Water and Power, who was going to shut off his power if he didn't deliver a gift card that same day to pay his supposed DWP bill. Well, of course, that is nonsense. The DWP will never do that, will never
sure?
threaten to do that.
You sure?
But a person who's sitting at home by themselves, particularly a senior, particularly somebody who came from a generation where we were accustomed to trusting
seniors to
one
hang the
another,
phone up.
a generation where
Just hang
people
it up.
sometimes didn't
You're
lock their
good.
front doors.
You're good.
Those folks are especially vulnerable.
To all the senior citizens who might be watching out there, think about this. You've lived all these years, 5, 6, maybe 7, maybe even 8 decades, maybe even 9. And nobody's ever came to your house and taken anything or shut your power off unless you didn't pay or anything like that. So when anybody calls you for anything, to ask you about anything, guess what? Here's what you do.
financial loss of
That's it.
victims
Problem
of
solved.
financial exploitation is
Or
estimated
you don't even
to be
answer it.
$3 billion. Total losses reported to the FBI by elderly victims increased
Simple.
84% between 2021 and 2022. During COVID, when everybody was at home and the thieves were at home and trying to figure out new ways to steal, they were increasing the kind of abuse of our senior residents. Victims over 60 lost more to these kind of scams than all other age groups combined, and they reportedly remortgaged their homes.
Danny, we always do
emptied
these
their
shows.
retirement
Where you been?
accounts, borrowed from family and friends, or saw their homes foreclosed upon to cover the losses that they experienced in Medicare scams, veteran scams, government impersonator scams, sweepstakes and lottery scams,
What's up, Market
investment
Zero?
scams,
At least it's working, right?
cryptocurrency scams, bereavement scams, identity theft, and the list goes
Right,
on
and
on.
they'll still, the list will get even bigger. So what's the
thankfully,
point?
there's
Just have them hang up. Teach them how to hang up,
an
dude.
angel in this
Simple.
city of angels
Hang up.
named Adrian Omansky, who decided that there had
Two
to
words.
be a
Hang
different
up.
way to address this problem. And so, as a retired teacher for LAUSD, she developed a curriculum to begin training older adults for new careers in the entertainment industry,
gift
primarily
cards, salt gift
acting.
cards.
And so,
Where's your
through her
John, I got
program,
your
her
reparations
programs
coming.
for older adult classes.
It's good to
these
see you, John.
actors took on the task of using their acting skills to help seniors understand how it is that they may be scammed and how to deal with that situation. So in 2009, she began the Stop Senior Scams Acting Program.
2009.
Which is a peer-to-peer education program.
apparently hasn't
to
worked so
educate
well.
older
We're
adults,
still here.
About these vulnerable
14 years later.
situations. And she started recruiting volunteers from the Claude Pepper
Lakers in
Senior
5?
Center in CD10 in Councilmember Hutt's
see.
district. And I've seen them perform. It's an awesome way to try to empower our seniors
Water is
with
wet.
the information they need to resist these sorts of scams. So, and I'm very pleased that our own
please,
Los
come
Angeles
on. We
Public
know about
Library
scams.
has
They know
also
about
partnered
scams. Can we get down
with,
to Mr.
the
Herman
Stop
and
Senior
Sachs
Scams
and Mr.
Acting
Harlan
program
and
to
the bunch?
provide virtual programs through Zoom as well. So I'm very pleased that the representatives of the program are here today. I'd like to give the floor to my colleague, Councilmember Hutt.
Terry, they got to figure out a way to
Thank you,
make
Mr.
them
President.
just hang up.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You know, they got to learn to teach
I
them to
also
not
wanna
be scared.
mention that
You know what I mean? Have no fear. They shouldn't have fear because, like I said, they've been around a long time and they've already realized that none of that has ever happened, you know, unless they've gotten scammed through the phone or some other correspondence. So I'm saying, so if we could just figure out how to get it into them that they don't need to be frightened at all ever about anything. Ever through the phone. And I mean ever. Because nobody, and I repeat, nobody is coming after, not the police, not the IRS, not a private investigator, not a murderer, First 48. Nobody is calling you like that. Nobody. They're not doing it. Now, I've heard First 48 call some people sometimes, but even then, it's like, hey, you want to come down and talk to us? That's about it. You know?
fall into that $3 billion
Just gotta teach 'em,
category
you know?
that has taken.
I know what you're
people's
saying,
life
though. You
savings,
just gotta
that
knock it
has
into
taken
'em.
away their homes.
You know, don't
and
be
it has
frightened.
really injured them
First thing on the
emotionally
list,
because they don't
don't
have
be frightened.
discernment.
Hang
so I just
up.
really want to thank
Nothing
you for
will
the
happen.
program.
Those three
I'm really
things.
proud
Boom.
that our senior center, the Claude Pepper, is really standing strong to promote this program.
And I think we should make a law that when we catch the scammers, that they should be brought to justice by me. That we're going to have pay-per-views and have them taken care of live on television. Yeah. That'll be the last time they scam anybody, ever.
To get financial
Just leave it up
literacy
to
so
me.
we understand what the scams
It'll be a
are, and we
pay-per-view for everybody
understand
to
and
watch,
understand.
especially the
Thank you
seniors. They'll
again,
get it
and
for
thank you
free.
for everyone that
The seniors will get the free pay-per-view, so you can see what we
Adrian,
do to these people that
I would like to
attack
invite
you.
up.
Adrian, come forward, please.
Well, that is true, St. Louis, but they're not calling them to scam them. They're just giving them a bill
Thank
or
you
whatever,
very much.
tax
Thank
lien.
you, Council President Volker Korian and Councilwoman Heather Hutt and the City Council.
But the IRS doesn't call you. That's my point. Whether you think the IRS is a scam or not, because we won't get all into that, because I get what you're saying and I see you. I'm not disagreeing. But what I'm saying is they don't call you. Okay? They don't call you. They don't come knocking on your door. They don't call you. IRS doesn't do that. They send a letter in the mail. That's how the IRS does it.
Senior fraud is grossly underreported for 3 reasons: embarrassment, lack of information, and lack of confidence that when they report it, something is going to be done. During the pandemic, we had to find a way to continue our mission. With the collaboration of the Los Angeles Public Library, we were able to continue our program through virtual presentations. Health Commissioner Ron Cotto,
That's what I'm saying, tea maker.
I'm sorry, found us a safe place to rehearse. Of
course I do, Jockey.
Last year, the senior centers reopened, and we were invited to return to the Claude Pepper Senior Center with the help of Center Director Anthony Montiel. My team and I went through hundreds of personal accounts from seniors that have come to our
Dearest
programs,
Abigail.
both virtually and in person. Our actors retell their stories in our new revised program. I will never forget the day a senior lady came to
Good luck with that, Philly.
to our in-person
Chick.
library presentation. She sheepishly told me that she lost her housing due to an investment scam. This brings tears to my eyes because I looked at her and thought that she couldn't be homeless after she told me her story. But her story was not unique.
Some weed.
Other seniors have told us they were homeless due to lottery sweepstakes scams, romance scams, and other imposter scams.
Romance
As a matter
scams?
of
Come
fact,
on.
one of the people in our program was homeless from a scam, and we didn't know this for several years. Homelessness is an acknowledged crisis in our city, but how many of us realize that some of the homelessness is a result of seniors and others becoming victims of these insidious scams? We are very proud that the U.S. Senate has designated May 15th as National Senior Fraud Awareness Day.
I mean, everybody
in
gets
support
scammed
of
on
your
romance scams,
resolution.
of any age.
But
is
what can
I
we
mean.
do? We need more education, more coordination, and we need not only to educate the seniors, but everybody in the city. Intergenerational education is really going to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adrian,
romance
very much
scams
for
can
your
be,
commitment.
done against
Thank you, Council
anybody.
President,
Anybody who's got a
Krikorian,
lonely
Council
heart
Member
of any
Hutch,
age.
for
you
bringing
know.
the active seniors with us today.
It is a
We
sad
appreciate,
deal, and that's why I
their
say that
presence.
people that
I
work
remember
around these folks,
you
like
posted them.
the people that working at senior centers and stuff, they really need to take their time and explain this. Like, it's what they need to do. Seriously, is find out who has phones. First off, that's what I would do. I would find out the phone, and I would show them on their phone how to install the call blocker, like just the telemarketer block and all that. We'll start with that first. Easy step. That way, 9 out of 10 fucking scamming, baloney, telemarketer, all that shit is not even coming to them. That's going to lessen the load on them right away. And then slowly explain to them that nobody's going to hurt them and that nobody's going to steal anything unless you give it to them. So if you don't give them anything, they won't take anything, period.
All in information that was also provided on the agenda today.
Thank you. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing
right, here we
to
go,
offer
finally.
public comment should call 669.
All right, you guys wanna call in? Right there.
5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and
I
press
will, Captain.
pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute. Let me repeat, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466
That's it, Jamie.
and press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute. Thank you.
So for members of the public calling in or in the room, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the items you'd like
What's
to
up,
speak
Nestor?
on. You have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total, and if you wish 1 minute for general public comment, please speak to the items before beginning general public comment. We'll tell you when your time's up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you're not on topic, or if we can't tell whether you're on topic, you'll get one brief warning from me or the president. At that point, you need to get immediately clearly
Still
on
isn't
topic.
smart
If you
enough to
don't,
just record
or
it.
you again stray off topic,
Stupid
unfortunately,
fuck.
you'll forfeit your speaking
You
time.
could be
and
drinking
we'll move
tea
on to
right
the next
now and
speaker.
just push.
The items that are open for public comment today are items 7 through 24. That's
Oh,
7
we done?
through
All
24.
right, let's go.
You can, of course, speak about any of the
Getting
other
two
items
things
or
done
anything
at
else
once.
within the subject
Every
matter
day,
jurisdiction of the city
instead of just
in
one.
general public comment. For members of the public calling in to speak, as you were told, when it's your turn, an automated Zoom voice will prompt you to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you don't do so, council staff will prompt you once more, usually by reading off the last 4 digits of your phone
They
number.
do love wasting
number.
time.
At that
They
point,
do
you
that.
really need to press *6 right away, or unfortunately, we'll move on to the next speaker and you'll get passed over. Finally, there is a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast.
That's
so for
it.
people who are dialing in, 2 things are important.
Look smart.
First,
Not hard.
if you're listening on multiple devices like Channel 35 or YouTube, when it's your turn to speak, please turn down the volume on the other devices right away and just speak on the phone. If you're listening on the other devices as well, between the time delay and feedback, it causes a huge amount of confusion. Secondly, while you're waiting for your turn to speak, please keep one ear to the phone. We want you to hear in real time when it's your turn to press *6. If you're only listening on another device, you might not hear right away, and unfortunately, you might get passed over. And with that, Mr. President, we are ready to begin public comment in the chamber.
Okay, we'll begin the public comment in chamber. I'm going to call several names. If you hear your names, please just line up either to the left
Raise
or the
your
right.
hand.
You don't.
Please, Mr. Harlan,
you
Mr.
don't have to speak in any
Sachs,
particular
Mr.
order,
Herman,
but ask that you be prepared.
Dr. D.
Alex Zamora, Alfred Prihardo, Alicia Bartley,
Stacey
Andrea
Cigar.
Rosen, Andrew, Anne Marie Otley, Aria Khalid, and Ashley Greenwade. If
Okay,
you heard your name, please step forward.
Don't sound like
So
anybody
if your
fun.
name was called, if you could go around to the side aisles for the sergeants to let you in. Okay, and for the person who's coming forward, hello. If you'd be kind enough to remind us of the name you signed up under and what you'd like to speak on.
Anne-Marie Odie, and I'm speaking on on item number 1, which should be then general public comment.
Precisely. So you have a minute, please begin.
Good morning, Council. This is Anne-Marie Odie. I represent 140,000 skilled and trained workers in Los Angeles and Orange counties, part of the LA Orange Counties Building and Construction Trades Council. Dozens of our members are here to urge you to reject Motion 1 to allow the entitlement, exploration, and environmental process for the Bulgari Resort to go forward as your body itself agreed to in many previous
Supra, thank you for
processes.
25
Now is not the time
Supra, you
to
rock.
reverse your decision. Now is the time to allow a developer who is ethical, a developer who reached out to unions,
Thanks,
a
Supra.
developer who is working with all of our trades unions as well as Unite Here Local 11 to build a property that will be a showcase for this area of Los Angeles and promote our tourism and travel business with good union jobs. We urge you again to reject this motion and move ahead with the process. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's there. I didn't notice. Robert, are you still here? The racist rolled in.
Please, let's try to keep the applause down. So we
He's
have
the
as
one
many
right
speakers
behind
as
the cop.
possible. Next speaker, please.
Cop, of course, standing right behind him, making sure nobody attacks him.
Hello, speaker. If you'd please remind us of the name you signed up under and what you want to speak on.
Yes, Judith Dornstein. This is item 1 about the proposed hotel. I want to be perfectly clear. Those 11,000 plus voters who are against this,
Linktree?
we all live in the area, and we are not against union jobs. We are not against employment.
There you go.
What we are against is disturbing the wildlife. We're and creating more and more pollution and traffic jams. We have been fighting this for many, many years now. We already have mega homes in the area. This is really not about jobs to us. This
True,
is
Paul.
about preserving our environment. And a job like this, with all of its trucks and all of its extra people that will take years and years, is only going to cause more traffic and more pollution in a canyon that already is being used as a crossover, and many, many mornings and evenings
It's not
is
fair,
just
Yessie,
jammed
come
with
on.
traffic. We do not need a mega hotel here. What we do need is to preserve our environment and to defend our wildlife.
I got all
Please,
kinds of
please,
wildlife at the house, man.
Thank you.
I got hawks, I got rabbits, I got skunks, I got raccoons, possum. I mean, it's not
Next
the
speaker,
most,
please.
but we got a little bit. Come on, man.
Please curb the enthusiasm.
Curb your enthusiasm.
Hi, Speaker. Which item, or would you please tell us the name you signed up under and what you want to speak on?
That was
Item
funny.
number 1, Alfred Freihoff for the record.
Okay, please go ahead.
Great. Buenos dias, Honorable
dias.
Council
Good
President
morning.
Krikorian and council members. Alfred Freihoff for the record. I'm here on item number 1. The issue before you today is, can this city council, through this motion, change code-mandated rules for a single project?
Mr. Buzz?
The answer is no.
I don't
The laws
remember.
of California and our great city make clear that once an application for a GPA and a zone change is vested, it must be processed in accordance with the rules in place at the time it was vested. It is the same process and the same rules that have been extended to over 50 GPAs processed in recent years. This motion cannot stand. We urge you to consider the message you are sending to the public that a single council member can defy the rules of this city. There is a legal process for changing the rules, and it's not through a single motion regarding a single project. We urge you to adhere to the rules of the law and vote no on this motion. Further, as submitted in our correspondence, Councilmember Yaroslavsky is prohibited from voting on this matter, and she must be recused in accordance with the...
Thank you.
Wayne,
Thank you.
I agree. They haven't stolen
Next
enough.
speaker, please.
No. To answer your question, no, they have not stolen enough, but yes, they do the stealing.
Hi, if you'd please remind us of the name you signed up
But
under.
no, they haven't.
I'm here to make a
gotten
public
enough.
comment and also make a comment on the homeless issue. So it
So
will be.
the homeless issue is
Is-
sounds like is a particular item or
I checked the box when at the kiosk where you sign up,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
tells
little
you
bu- oh,
to
little
choose the item,
Buzz.
and there were 2 listed homeless situations that
forgot
I
about 'em, Sarah.
read there. So I'm just want to
I
also
bet,
speak
I
on
bet
that.
that was the emergency declaration. Yes, so we'll set
Buzz.
a minute for each. Please go ahead.
Try to save
Thank you, sir.
Try to save
Since
little
the
Buzz.
last time I came here and spoke out on my case that I was told was flagged, with celebrities, attorneys, and more being able to weaponize the legal system, as there have been an ongoing attempt.
Thank you,
since the
Goats. I
police
appreciate
were
you.
human
It's
trafficked
okay.
To help Clifford Joseph Harris Jr.
see you.
and AKA
Thank
T.I.
you,
frame me
Goats.
with the gun case, after I made it clear to the FBI agents who confronted me about the obvious investigation caused by a false report on January 3rd, 2022 at the 7-Eleven on Coinga and Yucca Street, telling me that I had a beautiful mind after I was falsely accused by Sarah Scott after her many crimes against me and others, including me walking in on her raping her 1-year-old son, Sir Honor.
What?
T.I. and Sarah being well aware of the homeless improvisation made for them to falsely report for my money, and still attempted to manipulate my entrapment to the point where I saw her both in and out of downtown LA and Linwood jails I was housed at, along with the participation of my family members for conservatorship, and generally people I've known throughout my life who participated in my demise to help T.I. and Andre Romel Young, aka Dr. Dre, to cover up abducting, raping, impregnating, and cutting a child and me with a blunt object to raise after forcing me to write and record music, and rob me for my 1,000 Apple shares after I reported my recently revealed father, Andre Romel Young, aka Dr. Dre, who's evading and avoiding service.
You have another minute, please.
Of the summons of my DVRO case, which caused my homelessness, and parents a case that will serve for these and more crimes on humanity as a practicing Satanist performing rituals via human rights violations, who has since tried many attempts to cover this up or cover up this cabal of RICO and occult style crimes. I've since been placed in mental health court and accused of being incompetent by Dr. Corey Kanapke after plagiarizing an already reported nurse practitioner, Jing Han Zane, who posed as a doctor, and I was ordered to be sent to the state hospital. I have been evaluated since I have been diagnosed with anxiety, that's it, and that I do not meet criteria for being placed on a psychiatric hold after the Zapruder editing and reverse and manipulation of my viral video arrest on April 6, 2021. Most of the city of LA have participated, as of this morning, I filed a claim for damages. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi. if
Good
you-
morning. Alicia Bartley, speaking on item number 1.
Please go ahead.
I can't,
Thank
Bill.
you. My name is Alicia Bartley with Law Offices of Gaines and Stacy. We represent Save Our Canyon with regard to this matter. We respectfully urge your support for this motion to rescind the initiation of the general plan amendment. The motion is based on and supported by applicable legal precedent. In Las Lomas Land Company versus City of Los Angeles, the court made clear that a city may reject a discretionary permit midstream even after 6 years and millions of dollars spent by a developer without awaiting completion of the final EIR. This holding allows the city to avoid wasting time and resources on a project that is not supportable by the applicable decision makers. Rescinding the general plan amendment is especially appropriate now that apparent conflicts of interest and procedural and ethical violations surrounding the acceptance of the request to initiate the general plan amendment have come to light. As acknowledged by the city's own ethics ordinance and ethics handbook, even the perception of that a city official has acted with bias can erode public confidence as much as if bias actually exists. We respectfully urge your support on the pending motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she was on one. I don't know. She's like the other chick who gets raped by Obama in her sleep.
Hi, if you please.
There's
remind us of the name
He's
you signed up
walking in.
under
There's
and what you wanna Speak on.
Good morning. My name is Alex Zamora. I'm speaking on item number 1.
There he
Okay,
goes.
you have a minute in general. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm a member of LIUNA, which is the Laborers International Union in North America, and I'm speaking in favor of the project and of the developer. Projects just like these have changed so many lives for the men and women of our great union and all the other trades unions that are able to work on projects.
There's
like
Mr. Herman right there,
It lets the
walking
people
in.
on the outer work list go to work that much faster, make money and provide for their family while having union benefits and a retirement, as well as letting the door open and many people outside of construction into it with opportunities like this. A good, responsible developer committed to using professionally trained builders from state-accredited training facilities and infusing private money into an area to, better it is a great thing, and it's a great partnership. There's always going to be a little bit negatives, but there's so many positives. So I hope this can move forward. Thank you so much for the time.
I know I need to take that from the Pee Wee movie. Paging
Well,
Mr.
the next
Herman.
speaker comes up. Let's take some more
Under
names.
over 30. Under over 30.
Judy
Hurry up.
Stafford,
I'm saying over.
Bob Gluberman.
Over 30 on the
Bradley
ums.
Miskinsky,
Under or over? I'm saying
Brian
over.
Strickland.
Hi, Mr. Grabner.
I'll
Which
speak
items-
on 7 and general comment.
So you have a minute for each. Please begin.
All right, so item number 7 is renewing the homelessness emergency for another period of time. It's very obvious that we are probably really in a state of emergency here, but the way that the mayor has been handling this has been a disaster. No one's getting housed. If anyone even gets, at best they're getting a cheap motel room for 2 nights that's like 30 miles away from where they work, and they're forced to throw out everything they own, and they're subject to extreme restrictions. So we really need to kind of work on a strategy to at least come up with a better way to handle this, because clearly what the mayor's doing, it's not getting people housed. It's not, even if they do get housed, it's very miserable. They're not stable. They get moved around, kicked out, So yeah. All right, so for general public comment.
Got a minute left.
I don't see him in the chamber. You're trying to hide it up on the board, but I know KDL's here.
He was just
I saw him earlier.
So
KDL needs to resign. There are a lot of people outside who are trying to get in. I won't really speak on the hotel that much, although I'll note that the hotel's getting approved. There's almost no chance it won't be. So I don't know why you need to pre-approve like 200 visitors passes and have them sit like 3 feet apart so that you can claim it's at capacity, even though you're blocking off 3 rows. You're not at capacity, you're at Paul Krikorian capacity. You're at the point where Paul Krikorian doesn't want to let anyone else in. So let's let the people in. They did the same exact thing, pre-approved a bunch of visitors passes. So yeah, let's let some people speak too.
Thank you.
Damn, only 12. I think he listened to Brock Landers. Brock Landers called him out on the ums. So he's trying to calm it down. He listened to Brock.
Andrew Goldberg, speaking in support of agenda item number 1.
Okay.
As a concerned citizen, the ethical questions surrounding this project are too considerable to ignore.
I lost.
It's inappropriate for the wife of a planning deputy to lobby the city council office where her husband works. It's wrong, and at the very least has the appearance of corruption. I am a union member myself. I am pro-union, but I am anti-corruption.
That's what I'm saying,
Thank
Mike. He didn't, though, Mike. Hey, curb your enthusiasm. Calm down. You know, Mr. Herman was getting in on
Hi.
that.
Hi. Should I start?
Well, please remind us of the name you signed up under and what you want to speak on.
Andrea Rosen, and I'm here for motion number 1.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. On behalf of our community and the citizens of Los Angeles, I'm asking you to support the motion of Council Member Yaroslavsky. This is an opportunity to restore faith that the city government of Los Angeles can distinguish appropriate development from inappropriate development.
Faith.
We depend on our selected leaders to stand up for their constituents and not bend to the multinational corporations or wealthy developers who want to rewrite our hard-fought zoning laws for their benefit. This project is opposed by the leading environmental
Stop
organizations
screaming
in the
into it.
region, including Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy,
Bro.
Tree People, Citizens for Los Angeles Wildlife, the
First
Bel
day with
Air
a mic.
Beverly Crest
Notice who
Neighborhood
came back
Council,
now, right?
Benedict Canyon Association,
Notice who came back?
the Hillside
Ra-
Federation, and the
racist
Santa
rolled in
Monica
after homie
Mountains
left.
Task Force of the Sierra Club.
Smart.
A hotel is worse than an ordinary commercial operation. A hotel is not a store. A hotel has hours. A store closes. A hotel never closes. A hotel never sleeps. This usage is totally inappropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. It's totally inappropriate. There we go. Jesus Christ. I had to turn it down, guys. Sorry. Some people just don't understand that a mic amplifies your voice.
Please
There's no
remind
need
us
to
of the name
scream
you signed
into
up
it.
under and what
Just
you want to speak
talking
on.
to it, and it amplifies it.
Khalili on agenda item number 1.
Please go ahead.
He is a
Thank you,
coward.
Council. I'm here in support of
But he's a
saving
smart
the canyon
coward. I'll
and
give him that.
blocking the project for multiple reasons. First, procedurally, the ethical violations that occurred in the process, as well as the environment. Longtime resident and grew up in Los Angeles, and I think that the environment's very important, and I think it's very important to go through the correct procedures to have any zoning changes or anything
Jason
that
Fullerton.
benefits
Okay, hopefully
builder.
Patrick goes on to
Not against
check it
labor.
out.
This has nothing to do with unions.
Otherwise,
This
I'm
has
not
to
gonna
do
hop
with
to
doing
it.
the right thing for the city.
Thank
and
you
the
for letting me know,
residents.
though, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll take a few more names.
got the
Bernie
phone right
Stafford,
here.
Bob Gluberman,
So I'm watching.
Bradley Mayaski, Brian Strickland, Carol Schatz, Carol Fleck, Chris.
Did you hear?
Laudy Dotto.
I heard the goat.
And, Chris
Either that's
Clark.
Mr. Herman or
So
Goat Boy
please
in there,
remind us of
Mr.
the name you signed
Spindler.
up under and
I know you heard the goat right
Hi,
there.
I'm Bob Glauberman, and I'm speaking on agenda number 1.
Bob Glauberman.
So I live near Culver City, represented by Councilmember
Represent,
Hutt,
represent.
and I'm speaking against this project. So I have to ask, because I'm new to this whole thing, but is this the way that things are done in this building? If I wanted to build a hotel in one of your districts, then I could just hire the wife of the husband of one of your planning deputies, this Stacy Brenner, Sean Bayless's wife.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure I could afford to, but that's a different story. So let's not have different thanks. Let's not have different rules for people who can just buy their way into your offices. We elected you to serve us, to serve the city, and
Sure
not
you
to
did.
play fast and loose with the ethics so completely illogical projects like this insane Bulgari hotel could get started. What are we doing here, guys? Come on, seriously. Stand up for your constituents and stand up for honest government. I voted against Donald Trump. Don't follow his lead. And I
You got what you voted for, dumb fuck. You're getting everything. They getting everything you voted for, boy.
Emotional damage.
So,
Mr. Herman going off.
Your name and what you want to speak.
Oh, what a dumb fuck.
Motion 1. My
What
name
a
is Brad
dumb fuck.
Mislinski, local resident, 21-year Navy veteran.
That's me licking his tears
and
up.
I want to oppose this motion. I think that we need to allow due process to
Glauberman
continue
tears.
down its path. There's an environmental impact report that's
Right
supposed to
off his
come out.
cheek, ladies
I
and
think they're
gentlemen.
trying to stop that from coming out. I think the public needs to see that.
Thanks, Bob.
It's going to show there's going to be increased irrigation during the next drought. The animals are going to love this place. It's going to be a safe haven. They're going to be responsibly take care of this thing. You can hear the disruptions in the back because they know they're hiding something. Let the report come out.
Good
We'll
luck
all
with that,
see it.
Wolf.
Let the public see it and vote due
Good luck.
process and let this thing happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Wasn't he impeached like 14 times? Died.
Hello.
Good luck with that.
Hello, I'm Caroline Fleck, and I'm talking about Agenda Item 1 and making a general comment.
I like her accent.
This is clearly an unethical compromise process, so please support Katie Urlowski's motion to request that this hotel application be rescinded. The reason being, in 2016, Planning Deputy Sean Bayliss ran for California Senate. Bayliss' third largest contributor was 9712 Oak Pass Road, the developer of the proposed
You mean
hotel
Killary,
Benedict Canyon,
old Pumpkinhead.
adding $8,400 to his campaign.
That
Per the
bitch can't
City
even walk
Ethics
straight.
Commission starting
Big
on
ass
January
head
2017,
pulling her from side to side.
Bayliss' wife, Stacey
Old
Brenner,
Pumpkinhead.
registered as a lobbyist for 9712
They
Oak
shot-
Pass
they thought
Road,
she fainted.
And Brenner received
No.
substantial payments to influence both city council and city planning. At the same time, her husband was employed
Kanye
as Paul
2024.
Peretz's deputy. Brenner's payments eventually totaled over $174,000. October 2017, Brenner personally submitted and signed the application for the general plan amendment on behalf
I'm not
of
going to worry about the chase till
9712
it goes
Oak Pass
on
Road
to the news.
in the district where her
If it
husband
gets to
served
the
as a
news.
long-time deputy.
I'm not worried about it. at
My
all.
general comment.
Sorry, that's it.
Okay, no general comment?
No,
No,
because the item's not open as an item for public comment, so you were
Okay.
speaking
So
in
you don't
general.
get it, but everybody else got
Thank
it.
You.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
We have to give everybody the same amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Where the fuck's the regs? Give us some regs up in this joint.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Christopher Laudadio.
Whoa!
And I live in the neighborhood.
God damn, Christopher. Learn to fucking use a mic, you fucking moron. You've been on this earth for fucking 50 to 60 years.
Support that
Fuck.
we need to bring in international money. This is really important that we actually feed the economic engine. This money can go to projects such as affordable housing, homeless.
Unless I
So
see a
think we
chase on
really
my
need to
phone,
work
there ain't no
together
chase.
to make these projects happen and not just shut them down and divide.
Probably
We need
5
to work
chases going on
together
right now.
so that everybody here
Across
gets what
the
they
city.
want. It's really disappointing that
Till it makes
anytime
it.
somebody brings a project to the city council, it becomes this whole big,
What are you
giant
doing, buddy?
public
Why don't you
display
go
of
sit down,
hate
everybody can see
of
you.
people that don't want the
They wanna
project to
see
come
you.
through. We got to really work on this as a
They
team.
come to see
And I
you.
hope that everybody kind of looks at the process with the planning department and really addresses the issues that we have in the planning department versus just hating each other. That's it for me. I
Thank
support
you.
the project.
Thank you very much.
Let me scream really quick before I get out of here.
Craig Fry, Danielle Wilson, Danny Barton.
It's kind of hard to see him, but
Kissinger.
Harry Kissinger?
Come up. Hold
What?
on a second. Mr. Herman, I don't want to hear any goat noises out of you disrupting the speakers next time, okay? Be quiet.
No more goat
Sorry,
noises
speaker.
out of
Which
you,
I-
Mr.
what's your-
Herman.
what one did you sign up under?
All shots.
Okay.
No more goat
Item one.
noises out of you, boy.
I've stood before this body hundreds of times in the 30 years that I served as the head of the Central City Association in support of appropriate development in an appropriate place that created hundreds of thousands of union jobs, thousands of housing units, multi-millions in tax revenue, and gave LA a true center. The handful of union jobs at this absurd hotel would create.
I don't see no
not
chase yet.
trump
Nothing on my phone.
life or the lives of
Chase
all
is
of
on.
us
What
who
the
live
fuck? Nothing on my
nearby,
phone.
who would face an
Not a fucking
extreme
nothing.
fire evacuation
I don't
risk,
see nothing.
and which would at the same time destroy an environmentally sensitive
Go
area
enjoy it.
with
Callie,
no
why you here
real
then?
egress and ingress, and which will change the canyon forever.
Go enjoy that
The
chase.
conflicts of interest abound and really stink. If they can build this hotel here, throw out the zoning code because it means you're saying you
Thank
can
you.
build anything anywhere in LA.
Thank you.
Okay? For the 14th time. There's chases, 50 of them a day. Okay? I'm not a Twitter dude. I don't get all excited off of every chase and get a fucking boner. It ends 3 blocks away. Okay? When it gets on the news, when I watch it on the news, a channel I can use on my phone, we will watch it.
32 years.
Simple.
Rose to the rank of fire marshal and served as emergency operations chief for this area. This area is a high fire severity zone. This resort has been designed properly. It'll bring the necessary infrastructure that this area has been neglected.
Yeah, nobody
for
wants
over
the hotel.
100 years. The water main systems are
Ain't no
very
yeah,
poor.
sure, probably just,
He will be
morons.
required to build those up. This resort will offer life safety for the community by creating a shelter in place for that community.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, these are very
Steve
narrow
has
roads
not.
up in the area, but he's going to be required to widen them for fire trucks to get there. This is a reasonable, responsible, and needed resort for this community. I thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Join
you.
the meeting.
Hi, if you please remind us of the name you signed up under.
My name is Danny Barron. I'm speaking on agenda item 1, and I guess I have a general comment as well.
Just so you know, it's only going to be 1 minute because we've satisfied comment on one, so you're really
I got
taking
kicked
it
off
in
of Twitter
general. So please go
6
ahead.
months ago almost,
Honorable
Mike.
council members, I've been
For
living
good.
in Los Angeles since
Took my account away
1991,
a long time
and
ago.
I stand before you asking you to pass this motion. The hotel is something that never should have been started, and to outward appearances it happened because Paul Kortz's planning deputy received a large state senate campaign contribution from the developer, and then a few months later it turns up that his wife is the lobbyist for that hotel. It doesn't pass the smell test. The conflict of interest reflects badly on everybody, and I can't believe anyone in
now
this
I got the
horseshoe would
alert.
want to
Now it's
endorse that
live.
behavior. If it's allowed
Burglary
to be built,
suspect. Hold
then
on,
every
guys.
developer in the world is going to be
That's
stomping
how it
around the
works.
hills looking for every piece of
No, it's
green
live
and
now. Hold
thinking,
on.
I can build my hotel there.
Guys, give
You
me a
said
sec.
this guy can do it, so now I can.
go this way
and they're
with
going to
it.
look for backdoor access to you.
Man, we're gonna
unless
miss
you
it.
shut that door today.
I mean, not the chase, but the.
My general comment is this. My parents were both union organizers. I grew up in Detroit. They were UAW, UE. I'm a union member. I support good union jobs, just not these. Other hotels will be built. Stand
you.
up for the integrity of this building.
Thank you.
Yeah. Integrity. I got that integrity. I got that
Hi.
integrity.
Hello, speaker.
I got that.
Please remind us of the name you signed up under and what you want to speak on.
Integrity. It looks like
My
a nice
name
little
is Bernie
Lexus.
Stafford.
LF? Lexus, guys? Possibly?
I'm a proud
Chippy
US
channel's
Marine
turning on here, guys. Give me a moment. It should be
in the
on
Vietnam
really
War.
quickly.
Just before I
Anaheim area.
joined the Marines,
Yeah, a little LF, I guess.
I was
Right?
at
Burglary
Santa
suspect
Monica
here.
College
Not
as a
stolen car.
student.
Not a stolen car.
I had the pleasure of being a
burglary,
leader in the U.S.
burglary.
Marines.
You
in
see, I told you,
combat.
I promise you, I'm a man of my
And
word.
you know who combat wins?
All right, guys,
What
give me
people
a
wins?
sec
Those
here.
people.
Let me just turn this off because we're not hearing him for a sec. Hold on. Just give me a sec. I want to see if maybe. Come on, be on the blue. Be on the blue. There we go.
Thank you for your help, A-City.
There we go. All right, so now we've got the CHP on there. I got to change my hat. I got to do everything here, guys. Hold on. Hold on.
58 on the purple.
We're switching gears here.
57 on the purple.
57 freeway here, guys. Garden Grove.
Correct. Thank you. No problem.
Okay, give me a sec here, guys. Let me turn my cam off. Watch out, Stinky. Let's put this hat on here. Do-do-do-do-do. Let's grab this over here. One more sec here, guys. I'll be on with you guys. And I'm almost keen on watching watching the city council while you guys are watching the chase, only so that way when Mr. Herman gets on or whatever, I can put up the sound at least. We can hear him at least without seeing his craziness. All right, I'm almost ready. Almost ready. Come on, why am I not hearing it now? All of a sudden we ain't hearing it. They switched channels already. We're on Lincoln Avenue in southeast Anaheim, near the Big A. Come on. Why am I not hearing nothing now? Of course we're not hearing anything now. Let me try my phone, guys. Yeah, they said purple. I mean, I'm on the blue. The problem is I can't get the purple here. Like, stop it, Stinks. Come on. Camera. Okay. And guess who's up there? Marcel. Marcel's the one filming this. He was just in here with us. Come on, come on, come on. Let's hear something. Come on, come on. Come on, sweetheart. Give us something. Give us a tidbit. Come on, sweetie. No. Because he's too far from me, guys. I mean, fuck, that's an hour and a half from my house, so I can't get the purple channel there. So, let me go on the phone here and see if we get anything digging off the phone. I'm going to keep the blue on for now. Let's see, hold on a second. Let's do this. And we'll just let it scan on wide. Let's see. Yeah, because that way, if it comes up on UHF, we can hit it too. Ooh, shit. That was loud. All right. I guess. Give me a sec here. I'm just trying to get us all locked in and.
Hold on, man.
Damn it.
Roger.
I'm staying on blue base. Fuck it. Come on, go back to the blue. All right, no, it's not a stolen car. Rick, it is not a stolen car. It is a burglary suspect in Anaheim. Anaheim, and I don't know if it was a residential burglary or commercial. Look, the big A, that's where the Angels play. Holy shit, Mike Trout's in the house. So that's where we're at, guys. Look, he's right. Maybe he's going to pick up Shohei. Is he going to pick up Shohei? Mike Trout? Yeah, maybe just early for the game today. Who are the Angels playing? Who's in town? You already lost the back of that bumper. This bumper cover is a gonzo, but it just makes it a little bit more fast, you know? A little more sleek. Right, Stanks? What are you doing, Stank Thumbs? Why are you going after my back? I always feel like somebody's watching me. It's true, though. Everybody's always watching me. Come on, get out of the houses. Let's see. Come on, oh, gonna make that turn. Yep. He's going rather slow, too. He's just chilling right now. Doesn't know quite where he's going. Left, right, left.
Get straight. Go forward. Move ahead. Get straight.
Whoops, sorry. Great. $5 says he gets out of his car here now. Gonna get lost in this shit, go park in there and I'm thinking they're in the airspace of a John Wayne Airport, guys, so that's why they can't go right over top of them right now. So it's the same thing like when we get caught in the airspace of LAX, they're in the airspace of John Wayne Airport. So they got to do their best to get clearance to, hope to get as close as they can and not lose the chase as they're kind of doing. There's nothing they can do. It's nothing they can do. You know what I mean? They got to get clearance before they can get over there. They don't want a jumbo jet smashing into them. So, and you have Disneyland there. Yes, Disneyland has a flight restriction over it. Just so you know, nobody's supposed to be flying over Disneyland. Apparently, nobody, unless you're law enforcement. So, there's that too. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's gone just yet. Remember, the chippies are still there on the ground with him. He's driving rather slow. So you may get they may reacquire him. Just give it a moment here. I mean, there's nothing they can do. Marcel and the gang are doing the best they can, and they're just stuck. That's what sucks, Look, Chippy's sitting on the side of the road just waiting and lying in wait. Yeah, I'm waiting for him, Billy. He comes by here, his ass is grass. So let's see. Let's give it a moment here. I mean, Lexus is pretty easy to fucking spot. And I don't know if he's there because of the construction, as you can see on the lane, which probably is the reason why he's there. A lot of times when they do Caltrans and all that kind of stuff, that's how they do it. So I don't know, guys. We might have to go back to the meeting here. Looks like it might be Dunzo Sunzo, thanks to the flight restrictions around Disneyland and of course John Wayne Airport. No, it's socked in. It's not smog. It's just remember, it's marine layer, I would assume too, because Anaheim isn't too far from the beach. From the Orange County coast. Not too far. So, yeah. You get that marine layer pushes in pretty fast. It socks you in. Don't you remember when Marcel, the guy that's showing you this, Chase, right now, the man that's filming this as we are speaking, was in this room, I don't know, hour ago, watching the city council meeting with us. Now, is that live? Hold on. See, there they go. I think that is, no, that's earlier. Okay, so that's okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do, guys, we'll go back to the city council meeting. And then we'll see. I will keep an eye to the left, and if they reacquire, I'll keep the scanner on too, the CHP Blue. So that way, if we get to reacquire this guy, hopefully we do, because you remember, if they're on the ground following him, all they need to do is listen to where they're at, and they'll fly to where they're at. That's all, kind of thing, So, it is what it is. It's life in the big titty. All right, let's get this going here.
You're threatening the quality of life of hundreds or maybe thousands of residents in Benedict Canyon to support, to proceed with the building of this hotel.
Homie just threw something out during the chase.
And I'm actually thinking
Didn't
it was
notice
bought.
that. Something
The
on the
only reason
freeway
you guys probably
he threw
approved
out.
of this hotel was because of money. The idea of bringing money.
Hold on, let's see. Yeah, see, they're completely off it now. They're going back to their they're at a commercial break now. Or no, they're going to Gloria Molina's death. All right, guys, give me a sec here. Let me
Instead of paying millions of dollars to lawyers, if this thing passes,
See, we
or
got both
doesn't
done
pass,
without missing
I would
anything.
prepare to spend a little bit more money of our assessments to really combat this, the building of the hotel, preserve a quality of life, which we have all invested our millions of dollars into. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. And hold on
Clarence,
1 second,
Clarence.
Speaker. Mr. Herman,
Uh-oh.
during the entire last speaker, you were
Uh-oh.
making hand gestures all over in an attempt to distract us, succeeding, and probably annoying everybody behind you. This is your last warning. Do not disrupt the people behind you and the members who are trying to
Are
pay
you not
attention
watching?
to the
Why would you
speaker.
tell me there's a chase
Okay,
when there's
Speaker, I'm
clearly the
sorry
chase?
about
I put it
that.
up.
Please remind us of your name and what you'd like to speak on.
man.
Good morning. I'm Samara Hutman, speaking on item 1 and making public comment. This Bulgari project ignites such extraordinary passion because it is so extraordinarily ill-conceived. You cannot put a commercial hotel in the mountains off narrow roads with fragile infrastructure in a very high fire severity zone. It's just dangerous and inappropriate, and we should not waste the community's time further. We shouldn't waste planning department's precious time, and we shouldn't waste this committee's time. Enough is enough. Wildly inappropriate projects like this should never see the light of day. And when we look at the ethically questionable behavior surrounding the beginning of the process, it erodes our and my faith in the city government. Restore our faith in city government, stand with the community and the leading environmental organizations and the LA Times and Mayor Bass and the council member from my district where this is happening. Do the right thing and stop the project. As an aside, I've taught for 10 years. Our young people are very disillusioned. Please restore their faith
Oh, we
in
tried.
what
Exactly. I tried.
Los
I told you
Angeles
I'd do
they
it.
will
If it
inherit.
was on,
Thank
I
you.
told you I'd do it. And the second it went on, we flipped and went to it. I'm a man of my word. And we still didn't miss Mr. Herman or
Hi,
anybody
Speaker, if
big.
you'd
I can
please
tell you
remind
that.
us of your name.
It was just
Thank you so much. My name is
Normal
Jason
folks.
Baez, and I'm a proud member of Labor's Local 300. I grew up in a housing projects not far from here. Me and my family were destined to continue the Section 8 and incarceration cycle until a great labor leader named Sergio Rascon, who believes in second chances, and an LA City Council who was foot down for the people, and a responsible developer like we have before us today, passed the project that opened the door for me to join Labor's International. completely changing the lives of me and my family. This project will open up tremendous doors of opportunity for Los Angelinos and stimulate our local economy. As more people are employed, there will be a boost in spending and economic activity in the surrounding areas, benefiting both local businesses and the city. The project will
Avery, you're
enhance
late.
the
We already
housing
watched it.
market.
It's over.
More employment, more of a demand for housing, leading to a rise in property values and property investments. And in closing, we have no less than 100,000 union members.
Stop screaming. Fuck,
Thank you.
dude.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Your point isn't going to be made stronger because you screamed it. Okay? In fact, it's
Hi,
less tolerable.
my name is Emily Sender.
Okay.
I'm speaking on agenda item 1.
Please go ahead.
Item 3,
in support
Jordan.
of the motion. As a young person who's grown up in Los Angeles, who's grown up in and around Benedict Canyon, I firmly believe that the future of this city cannot include these kinds of developments. I ask you to please support.
The chase ended, Enrico.
Councilmember
Fuck. Well, are you guys
Yaroslavsky's
living in the
motion.
past?
We're so lucky to have
guys living in the
old-growth
fucking
trees
past?
and a thriving green
Guys
belt
must be.
within our city. This hotel would destroy this by setting an extremely dangerous precedent for
Guessing you didn't
development
just
in
see
the
the
Santa
chase
Monica
end.
Mountains. Please show your constituents, and especially young
All right,
people
guys.
in Los
Smoke.
Angeles, that ecologically disastrous multinational corporate developments in fire-prone areas will not be the future of our city. I urge you to protect the ecology and the future of the Santa Monica Mountains and the future
You mean
of
we're
responsible,
chasing,
ethical
Rubber Ducky.
development in
We're
our city.
chasing.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We're
you.
chasing.
Hi, if you please remind us of your name.
Hello, I'm Erica Gallerani, and I'm speaking on item
Guessing
number
you
1.
didn't see him outrun the police,
I
the Channel
am a
7
PhD
choppers.
candidate at UCLA studying ecology, and I'm personally concerned about the environmental impact of such a development project, not only on Benedict Canyon,
Oh,
but on
John.
the surrounding LA area.
the
Earlier, it was
last I'm saying.
mentioned that animals will love it there, but the last time that I checked, animals are not welcome guests at a hotel, and they do not prefer concrete over intact forests. Not to mention the free ecological services that will be provided by the 260 trees that will be lost to the hotel, such as sequestering carbon and purifying the air, 2 things that this chamber should make a priority.
Good luck with that.
I want to live in an LA that prioritizes its green spaces as not corrupt, absurd development projects.
What the fuck are you doing, Joey? Living in the past? Hey, Joey, get into your DeLorean and get into the present tense or the fucking future. Stop living in the past, Joey. Shit ended 10 minutes ago.
Rico Sacchini. This is for item number 1.
Okay.
Motherfuckers are watching the
I voiced my
replay television.
concerns
There's
on
a
the
chase
proposed
going
Los
on, don't you
Angeles
know,
hotel
David?
project.
There's a
This
chase
motion
going
is not
on.
against labor, but a stand against a harmful project. This is not a standard commercial project, but an around-the-clock operation in a high-risk fire zone, which poses
Chase
immense
Elliott?
challenges to our residential
He was a good driver. His
community.
dad, Bill, was really
After
good.
living in Venezuela for over 25 years, I've seen similar instances where development projects disregarded the interest of local
Hotels for
communities.
immigrants?
We cannot allow this to happen here. We urge to consider this project an appropriateness to our community. We ask you to support Council Member Yaroslavsky's
nice?
motion, thereby protecting the community and its
Happy
environment.
Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Fucking off-road.
Hi, if you please remind us of the name you signed up on.
Little Aussie
Yes,
joke.
My name's Ernesto
Little
Pampa,
joke from down
speaking on
under.
Item number 1 against the motion.
Okay.
I am here on behalf of Sergio Rascon, business manager of
How come
Labor
they're
Local
all wearing
300.
orange shirts?
We are here in support of the Bulgari project.
Is it
and against
Pumpkin
this
Day?
motion.
National
Obviously, we
Pumpkin
support
Day?
the
I
jobs that
didn't
will create for
know.
our members, but for us, it's not just about the jobs. It's about the
Nobody
principle of not allowing
driving
this
a Pinto for a
developer
classic.
to exercise his due process rights.
Need to meet
Our
that fool.
membership is majority Black and Latino. Many of them came to this country and settled in or were born and raised in the predominantly minority and working class communities.
Okay,
of
well,
Los
when I get
Angeles.
the alert, I'll go
Their
check it out,
history is
Joey.
one where government,
Till then, I
this
don't
very
care.
same government
I don't have it
came
on
into
my
their
phone. I
communities
don't
and took
care. It
away their
doesn't
homes,
exist till it pops
built
on my phone.
freeways, shopping centers, and even event spaces like Dodger Stadium.
don't
They
spam.
weren't given a choice. No one cared to hear their concerns, supposedly all for the greater good. People's homes were taken, not nice hiking paths that only the few can enjoy because the rest are busy working multiple jobs just to keep their families housed and alive. So we understand what it means when government takes your property. We understand that what it's like not to have a voice in the seat. That's why we ask you to adhere to this process and allow it to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, speaker. If you please remind
Orange
us
is
of
the
name
new
you signed up
obese.
under.
Thank you. My name is Eric Edmonds.
I need an orange
speaking
shirt,
on,
is what you're saying?
Item 1, and I'm speaking in favor
look like a
of the
pumpkin.
motion. I am the chair of the Santa Monica Mountains Task Force of the Sierra Club.
Task Force
I
of
am
the
also,
Sierra Club.
Vice President of Brentwood Hills Homeowners Association.
So you're basically just a
and
dude
Councilwoman
who
Parks
lives over
District.
there.
We believe that commercial development in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains is a threat and is inappropriate. This project implicates serious issues of fire safety, wildlife habitat, wildlife linkage. And as
Sierra Club, Sammy.
the Sierra Club is profoundly concerned about
They're
the
coming for
impact
you,
it will
Sammy.
have,
You made fun
and
of
as
them.
other speakers have said, the precedent that this will set in the Santa Monica Mountains. I urge you
Brentwood
to
doesn't
vote
even have any
in
mountains.
favor of the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker.
I mean, they're close to the Santa Monica mountain range. That it
Francisco
is.
Aragon,
Ain't no mountains in Brentwood.
Fanny Levin, Gabriel Ronaldo, Gary Safade.
Maybe like a
Stephanie,
cliff.
George
Might be that.
Mali, and George Kawaji.
Why'd they make Mr. Herman wait till last? I guess they're hoping everybody kind of leaves and the herd thins out before they all have to hear Mr. Herman go crazy.
Motion 1, I guess.
Before you begin, speaker, Mr. Herman, during the last speaker, you were again making hand gestures the whole time, distracting us
Like a
and
little kid.
distracting the people behind you. I've spoken to the president. He's ordered you to leave the meeting quietly now. Please do so immediately.
Dang it! Got himself fucking kicked out.
So, Mr. Herman, please
Dang
gather
it!
your stuff and leave. Thank you for the sign. Go. Right?
Let me guess, you put up the swastika sign
Right?
up?
You've
Put
been
the
asked to
sign
leave.
down
Look at
and
idiot.
leave.
An
Right?
idiot.
Go, Mr. Herman.
Here
You've been
comes
ordered to
LAPD
leave
coming up.
quietly now. That's an order. Please comply with it. Mr. Herman, come on. So instead of complying with the sign, Mr. Herman is, or complying with the order, Mr. Herman is holding up his swastika sign and further distracting the meeting, keeping us from listening to the speaker. So you've been ordered removed, Mr. Herman. Go. You've been ordered to leave
Mr. Herman,
quietly,
please.
and you are not complying. Please go. You are disrupting the meeting. Okay, so for everybody in the room, I'm sorry, but Mr. Herman has decided he wants to disrupt the meeting. And again, he's making goat noises as he leaves the room rather than following the order. And I'd like to apologize to the
He's
people
the
that were
goat.
sitting behind him putting up with all of that. And he's still disrupting the meeting as he makes goat noises on the way out. And shouting. And he's still shouting. Okay.
Sorry, Speaker, for that. But you may begin. 1 minute, please.
Oh, it's so
Please
funny.
remind us of your name, too.
So
and again,
great.
apologies to everyone.
Fuck, why does he always have to get himself kicked
Good
out?
afternoon, Honorable Chair and
Damn
honorable
it.
Council members. My name is Gabriel Renato. I'm representing Plumbers Local Union
Hopefully he goes
78,
outside and calls in.
and I'm here
Gets in
today
the
to
queue.
express my support for the Bulgari Resort and the eco focus on destinations respect 3 fundamental prescriptions: sensibility, conservation, and community integration. The property will feature a boutique 50-room hotel as well as 8 homes situated nearly 33 acres that utilizes the highest standards of sensibility and energy-efficient practices. The project will be LEED Gold certified, will be greenhouse as natural as net zero, fully electric, have substantial open space and community dog park accessible to the public. The project is prioritize the environment along with its neighbors with the purpose of having a positive impact and a model development.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he always gets himself kicked out. I don't think, those are days that he doesn't take his meds and
Hi, Speaker. If
he's
you
really
please
off his
remind us of the name
rocker,
you signed up
you know,
under.
kind of thing.
Jose Sainz. I'm here to speak on agenda number 1.
Sure, please go ahead.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Council members. My name is Jose Sainz, and I'm here representing over 18,000 operating engineers. and I am here to express my support for the Bulgari Resort. This motion is premature and attempts to circumvent the city's codified procedures. It is important that the project be allowed to proceed through review, subject to the same rules and procedures that ensure a thorough and open deliberation. Please allow the public and responsible agencies to continue to review the project pursuant to the standards of CEQA, Standard Process City Procedure. Thank you.
CEQA?
Thank you, Speaker.
CEQA, Ricola.
Hi, if you please remind us of the name you signed up under.
George Bally, and I'm here to speak on item number 1. Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Council members. My name is George Bally. I represent UA Local 761 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters of Burbank. I'm here today to support and show my support for the Bulgari Resort project. The Bulgari Resort Los Angeles will honor the environment and its wildlife. No perimeter fencing will allow deer and other wildlife to roam. Freely. The number of trees will increase significantly, bringing more accessible greenery to our community. The project will be LEED Gold certified and will have net zero greenhouse gases. I can't think of any other project that will honor the Santa Monica Mountains as the Bulgari Resort. This project respects the ridgeline and topography, and when you step foot in the property, you will feel like you're in a mountain resort, yet only 5 minutes away from the city center. This is going to be an amazing property that will enhance the city of LA and its image on a global scale, as well as generate great revenue and create great job opportunities for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, John?
Next speaker,
They have
please.
the audacity to use that word honorable.
Hi, if you please remind us of the name you signed up under.
Yes, hi, I'm
Not
Gary
the adjective I'd
Safety,
use.
and I'm speaking here on item number 1. Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Council members. My name is Gary Safety.
Another one.
And I started my career in the laborers local, and now I'm the developer of the Bulgari Resort. We started this journey more than 8 years ago with a vision.
He's a developer.
Of making a
He
difference.
sucks the dick
There's
of
two
all of
main
them.
principles. One,
They
to
suck each
demonstrate a
other's
project
dicks.
can be built seamlessly into the environment and a role model for other projects, and deliver a project that will serve the city
Makes
in
sense.
a positive way. The general plan amendment was initiated more than 5.5 years ago and reduced subsequently by 40% by working tirelessly with stakeholders to ensure we're creating an exceptional eco-friendly development. The EIR, when published, will reflect our ethos. The environment, the wildlife, fire prevention, traffic mitigation, open space, sustainability are first. That is why it's important the process continues. This motion sends a dangerous precedent and message to those looking to invest in Los Angeles. Voting against this measure is in favor of the environment, due process, working families, and a nearly $1 billion economic impact. Everyone is welcome to take.
Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
You know, but that's why they suck up to him, because again, these are the people that get him the hotel. They pay them, then they get their hotel. Simple. All the plans are okayed. This is their backup.
So if you'd please
Their
remind us
cheering
of
group.
the name you signed up under.
Yes, I'm Franny Flackett-Levin. I support Agenda Item 1.
Stop
I've lived in Benedict Canyon my entire life. I'm 23 years old and hope to live in Los Angeles for the remainder of my life. The Santa Monica Mountains are the most incredible part of Los Angeles. The development of an ill-suited hotel in a residential area in the Greenbelt with extreme fire risk, hundreds of protected trees, has the potential to change the history and the trajectory of LA forever. I am very concerned about the fire danger in our community. There is no way we would be able to evacuate in an emergency if we had a giant commercial operation wedged into the hills. To support this hotel is to support the end of the Los Angeles we all love and have a duty to protect. Prove to the younger generation that this is a city we want to live in, that we can have faith in our city leaders to lead ethically. You have the opportunity to show the younger generation how great our city can be. This project has not been ethical to this point, but we need you to show us a better way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Bud Billy. They're going to show you the better way. It's
Hi,
their
so if
way.
you please
Whether it's
remind
better
us
or
of
not,
the
it's
name you
their
signed up
way
under.
or the highway.
Hello, council members. My name is George Kawaji.
Hi, George.
Discussing here item number 1.
Guess you're a
I'm
developer.
against the motion. I'm a resident of the area for many years. I don't have a lot prepared here, but I just want to say it's important that council members and opponents complete their due diligence on this project. Really go see the site, study the plans. There's a lot of misinformation going around as I hear people speak about it. If you take the time to really go through the plans and study everything and go take a tour of the site, which many people refuse to do, I think it will help give them a better picture of what's going on. Do I want 12 large estates across the street from me, or do I want 58 hotel rooms? I think 12 large estates will do a lot more damage to the environment than what the developer right now has proposed. And I think a lot of people don't realize he has by right to build those homes. So I think people really need to study this, understand both sides clearly, and see what the alternatives are. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
12 estates up there in Benedict Canyon. Boy, you talking money, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking dead land.
Gail Ozeri,
Dead
Gordon
land is $5 million.
Jelenic, Gregory Jacobson, David,
Talking 60,
Guilty
100
David,
million in dead land.
Hourly Bajan.
Forget anything on the
James
property.
Jones,
Not one bush,
Jasmine.
not one house, not nothing.
You heard your name. Please come forward.
50 to 100 mil just in dead
Well, if you
land
think you
up
heard
there
your
is
name,
what they're
please come
talking about
forward.
right now.
Okay, just whoever's ready, please come on up.
Whoever's ready, Mr. Herman was ready.
Please remind us of your name.
It purposely make him wait till the end because they know he's going to kick himself out.
I'm speaking in favor of agenda item number 1.
He'll get kicked out. They know it.
I live about 6 doors from the entrance of the proposed hotel. I urge you to support Katie Yaroslavsky's motion asking the Director of Planning to rescind his commencement of the general planning amendment for the project that never should have started to begin with. Our community is deeply troubled by what is clear conflict of interest surrounding the acceptance of the request to initiate a general plan amendment to change our city's law in order to allow an inappropriate hotel in a residential area. These include campaign contributions to Sean Bayless, then planning deputy in 2016, and in 2017, the hiring of Sean Bayless's wife, Stacy Brunner, to lobby for the hotel while he was still Paul Koretsa's senior planning and legislative deputy. This raises substantial questions about the ethics, the functioning of City Council, and the land use process in Los Angeles. Please stand with City Council Yaroslavsky in support of her motion. Thank you.
Well, Jane, you got to remember, Jane Doe, that just because you're on Section 8 doesn't mean they pay everything. Some people are on Section 8 where they pay every dollar, and some only pay where it pays literally $100 of their monthly shit, and everything else they pay.
Resort.
Everybody has a different voucher.
I'm a longtime resident neighbor in the area.
It's not the same for
Here in
everybody.
support of the resort. This retreat takes into consideration the residents, the surrounding community. It respects the land through preservation. The project sets a new standard of sustainability, which future developments can learn from. This project will also generate the much-needed tax dollars, approximately $10 million in revenue a year, the much-needed jobs. Council, you have a duty to all your constituents to provide us with the truth and accurate facts, not the spread of misinformation. I implore you, Council, today to make the right choice in the city to support the Bulgari Resort and not in the interest of one council member's commitments to just get elected. This is why the EIR must be published. This time we must focus on facts. This project is good for the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hi.
Jesus fuck.
I am an environmentalist who lives in LA and cares about what's happening in the
doesn't know how to
canyon.
use a mic.
And I am in opposition to the hotel's development. As others have pointed out, the hotel's development.
Sorry, guys. It's gonna scream.
It is going to have negative effects on the environment, on wildlife and protected trees. Despite what some people are saying, that it's environmentally friendly, why is it literally opposed by all the leading environmental organizations in the region? As someone who's pro-labor and who is in the WGA, currently on strike against corporations who only care about money, it seems to me that the developers here are exploiting the sympathy you might have for union workers for their own corporate greed. Let's be honest, they aren't trying to serve the city. They aren't building affordable housing or a community center. They're building a luxury resort so wealthy people can sip daiquiris by a pool. On behalf of the community of LA, I ask you to support the motion.
Thank you very much.
Boy, he's angry about them daiquiris by the pool. No daiquiris. Some assault daiquiris that are
Hello,
high
speaker,
capacity
if you please
daiquiris.
remind us of the name you signed up
Need to
under?
be
Yes, my name is James Jones.
Need to be
I'm here in
banned.
support of motion number 1
Okay.
and against the hotel. I'm not against hotels in general. love nice hotels, love union workers, but this is the wrong area for this type of a project. I'm also here not just in
Yeah, see,
support
nobody
of
wants the
the
traffic.
residents,
That's
the local
really what it
residents
is.
there, but also those who can't speak for themselves.
They may feel like it's
Every
ruining their property
animal and
value.
living creature that lives in that environment.
Who wants to live next to a hotel?
I know the hotel claims to
Even though if it's a
preserve the
high-end
land,
hotel.
but if they were really preserving the land, they would leave it alone. And this is the most beautiful area of California. California, born and raised, the Santa Monica Mountains should be preserved in its entirety and not used for corrupt development projects such as this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jasmine.
I think that's
Jason
really what
Phelps,
it is, Jesse.
Jennifer Flackett, Jennifer Kennedy, and Jesse Harrison.
You know,
Hi,
it's
Speaker.
just,
If you'd please remind us of the name you signed up under.
Item number 1, I'm Marion Dodge, Chairman of Hillside Federation, which represents 47 resident
Hillside
associations
Federation.
with approximately
Straight gang.
250,000 constituents spanning the Santa Monica Mountains. The Federation urges City Council to support Councilmember Yaroslavsky's motion to rescind. This project is so illegal that it required an amendment to the general plan. Spot zoning is illegal. A hotel does not belong in a residentially zoned area, and it does not belong in a designated very high fire hazard severity zone.
He's sleeping,
The
Rose.
carpenters and
Oh, wake him up.
IBEW guys would be much more productive if they built affordable housing units in an area so zoned. The Hillside Federation urges you to rescind the amendment to the general plan and stop this project now. Thank you.
Yeah, if he was awake, I'd pet him, but he's asleep right now. Let him sleep.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Zinchu Spock, S-P-O-C-K.
Zinchu Spock.
For item 1,
Great.
the hotel. I'm just here to add another voice in favor of the motion to stop the building of the hotel.
Thank you very much.
Zinchu Spock. I'm here. Live long and prosper, Zinchu Spock.
Skyndorf.
Hi,
That's how
my
you
name
did it,
is
right? It was
Huri
like that, right?
Bajin. I'm here to oppose the building of the hotel. I have been a 25-year union member and 10 years of leading my union. So I am with my brothers and sisters that are for this hotel. But if they really understood what is
Highly
going to happen,
illogical.
I believe they would oppose
Fucking
this project is only going to make the rich developer richer. It's not going to help you guys. I am afraid for my family, for my neighbors. It's such a tight area where fire trucks cannot get through. Honestly, it really bothers me. The safety in an earthquake or in a fire or paramedics getting to the area would be virtually impossible. Even though the fire marshal said they will widen the road, it's impossible. It can't be done.
You listen to that fucking fire
Thank you,
marshal.
Jennifer Flackett, Jennifer Kennedy, Jesse Harrison, Jesse Porter, Jill Dimko, Jim Roston.
Can't get those trucks through.
Hi, if you'd please remind us of the name you signed up under.
Good morning, it's Jennifer Kennedy. On general public comment.
Yes, please begin.
Good morning, Council. I'm back again to remind you to immediately rescind Ordinance 187134. If you've forgotten in
John.
all of this, it's the city's COVID vaccination mandate that hits employees, contractors, and volunteers. One group of volunteers who are collateral damage here of the outdated and nonsensical mandate are constituents of everybody, and that's parents of LAUSD students.
You didn't miss
Your
anything,
mandate goes hand in
Venom.
hand with the LAUSD mandate, and schools are right now still discriminating against parents by not letting them volunteer unless they take the COVID jabs. There's no state of emergency. You can't mandate EUA products, and the continued mandates are hurting schools and kids and violating parents' rights under Ed Code 51101A3, which confirms our right to volunteer on campus. Look at this room. It is packed to the gills for hours with people regardless of vax status, and yet you're telling me I can't go hand out glue sticks in kindergarten? Council, it is time to get together with everyone in the city and Mayor Bass and end these mandates and reinstate everybody with back pay. Thank you.
Hi. if
Watch
you'd
her
please remind
as
us of the
she
name you signed up under.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Pierce. I'm talking on agenda item 1. On my walk from my parking spot into this chamber today, I passed by at least 5 unhoused people who did not look healthy or emotionally stable and who are not being taken care of. I don't know how much more clear it can be that we need to be focusing on building much more vital places in this city than giant, gaudy hotels. We should be building where there is true public benefit with real community support and an open and transparent process. I am pro-jobs. I'm a proud union member. I am also on strike with many other people in this room with our union against corruption. But there are many other ways that we can create union jobs, including building affordable housing instead of this hotel. All of the projects all the projects to build, do we have to rewrite all of our laws to build another hotel for millionaires and billionaires, many of which already exist in this city? Please stop focusing on this hotel so we can reallocate time and resources to true problems in this city. Thank you.
Yeah, but the money that's being allocated is by the developer and not by the city. So I don't know what to say about it. This is not a city project. This is a personal project.
My name's Justin Walters.
We're trying to be
I'm
okay.
speaking on opposition of item 1.
Please
Talk
go
to the
ahead.
developer about
I'm here
giving up
representing
millions.
Plumbers Local Union 78
luck.
and its 2,100 members. And we are in favor of the hotel. It has a project labor agreement that will provide thousands of jobs and employment opportunities for Los Angeles and increase the revenue of the city. This project has signed a labor agreement that will ultimately create new full-time and part-time jobs and a potential revenue of nearly $10 million for the city. The project labor agreement will also put members of the community to work and allow them to earn a living wage, giving the members of our city an opportunity to contribute to the growth of our great city. Thank you.
But these they won't stop dedicating their time because these people, the developers, pay them off. Like John was saying in Abracadabs.
I'm Stephen
So that won't
Chasman.
stop.
I'm
The
here to speak about
kickbacks.
item number 1.
Great.
I've been a homeowner in the Santa Monica Mountains for over 20 years. I'm here to express my support for the Bulgari Eco Resort. I don't really have a dog in this fight other than I'm absolutely despise anything that's unfair. So what's this really all about? I believe many people here are well-intentioned, but the idea that the public could be denied seeing the environmental impact report is completely unfair to all of us. I grew up on the East Coast of America and have been traveled all over the world and fortunate to do so. Los Angeles, especially Beverly Hills, has been the crown jewel of America. This resort will preserve Los Angeles and Beverly Hills as one of the greatest cities in the world. This is not a community park. This is a private property. As many of you know, the developer could build many houses with more square footage here. Every day we see houses like this, in particular, monstrosity houses in Benedict Canyon and houses stacked on top of each other. Please allow the public agencies to continue properly reviewing this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that Boston drop.
Jesse Porter, Jim Dimko, Jim
Where you-
Roston.
Where are you from?
Bill
You and
Wingert.
now in Worcester. How about
Um,
Bedford?
Can't
How about
say.
Dorchester?
Hi, if you'd please
How about
remind us of the
Gloucester?
name you signed up under.
That's Ricky
How about
Camacho, who's
Taunton?
be speaking for
because
item
of
1.
action time.
Great,
Wicked.
please begin.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and Honorable Council members. My name is Ricky Camacho, representing Local 78 Plumbers, and I'm here today to express my support for the Bulgari Resort. The Bulgari Resort of Los Angeles is an
Get that money.
eco-sanctuary resort coming to Los Angeles.
Plumbers get that money.
The resort is a ecological haven designed to reflect the natural setting of the rolling Los Angeles landscape. Instead of building another multi-home, closed-off environment with no public access and no thoroughfare for wildlife, the developer is opening his land to the public and building an unfenced eco-sanctuary that preserves and honors the beauty of the Santa Monica Mountains. So I agree for that.
Thank
Moving
you very
forward.
Again, another guy that's going to get paid on the job, so they'll come in, they'll call them honorable. The ones who get paid are the ones that say honorable.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Flackett. I am speaking on agenda item number 1.
Okay.
Hello, members of the council. I would just like to say that there is a reason
Plumbers
why
make
everyone
great
is taking
money.
a stand against the
6
Bulgari
figures
Hotel.
a year.
Council member Yaroslavsky, Karen Bass, even Rick Caruso took a stand against this project. Why? Because it is a very bad idea. The subpar streets, the high-risk fire, the wildlife corridor, which leads one to wonder, how did this project even get this far? And the answer is money. and influence. The developer has spent almost $3 million hiring all sorts of lobbyists to try and get this very strange development approved. The idea that our councilperson's director of planning's wife was hired as the lobbyist and signed the application for the general plan amendment just makes this whole thing feel like the worst kind of politics as usual. And to all these union members, I get it. We need good, well-paying jobs, and I will join any picket line. But this is a bad project. Please support Councilperson Yaroslavsky's motion. Thank you.
Well, I bet you that plumber's a little different because that plumber's like a union plumber. He's going to come in and lay those pipes, no pun intended, and then he's leaving. He's not coming back to maintain them.
Harrison, and I'm here on agenda
He's not the
item 1.
plumber to dealing with your shit clog. He's the plumber that put them lines in. I'm the plumber who put. I'm the guy who put the toilets in this joint.
Talked about, which
He's
is
little
what
Nicky
this
the
developer
plumber.
is able to do by right in this canyon, which would be far more disruptive to
Big
the
money
canyon
that guy makes.
in terms of construction, in terms of
Bet he's making $100K plus a year.
disturbing the natural environment, in terms of closing off the wildlife corridor, and this project is incredibly environmentally sensitive, regardless of the misinformation that's been spread by the opposition to this project. The developer of the project has been incredibly engaging with the community, with every neighborhood association that has opposed this. He has spoken, he's met with any and all interested parties and opposition to this project. He has invited them to the property. He's shown them every element of this project, and I would encourage everybody to properly educate yourselves about all of the components of this project, about the true impact that it has to the environment, which is minimal, and about what an opportunity this is for the city.
Thank you.
Don't you remember Easy Money, little Nicky the plumber? Joe Pesci? Who are you? Who am I? I'm the guy who put the toilets in this joint. Oh, now I know why this place stinks.
Munoz, and Katie Krishik.
That was the greatest scene ever when they're at the bar.
Hi, my name is Joe Wengert,
Jesus,
and I'm
Joe.
here speaking in support of action
A.
number 1. I've been a Los Angeles resident for 15 years, and it seems pretty obvious when all of the leading environmental organizations in the region come out against a project like this. Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, they're a no. Tree People, no. Citizens for Los Angeles Wildlife, no thank you. And it seems like kind of a no-brainer.
Hi, Seth.
It just feels tone deaf right now to do
Ted.
any sort of construction in the canyon for people that are also opposed to big houses. I'm opposed to that too. To cut down over 200 trees at a critical point in this environmental crisis just seems like a really bad idea.
Cut 'em.
And it's not what the people want. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm cutting them. They're in the way of the chase. I'm cutting them.
Please remind us of your name.
Yeah, it's Jesse Porter.
And you can pull the mic up a little bit.
I'm Jesse Porter. I'm a resident of Studio City, Council District 4. I'm also a proud union member. I've been a member of the WGA for 10 years now. And I'm concerned about the way that the debate in this chamber is being characterized as sort of a conflict between, unions on the one hand and wealthy hillside homeowners on the other. I'm a union member. I'm not a hillside homeowner. I'm not a homeowner at all. And I'm not wealthy. This shirt is the only thing I own that has the word Bulgari on it. But my experience in talking to people on the picket lines is union members are opposed to this project. Renters are concerned about this project. The environmental impacts, the appearance of impropriety, as well as the precedent that would be set if we're going to just sort of allow the Santa Monica Mountains to be decimated piecemeal whenever developer is compelling enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, Callie, I don't hate trees. I boxed trees for a living. That's what I used to do every day for fucking years.
Please remind us of your name.
Yes, I'm Mark Levin, and I'm speaking on agenda item number 1.
know about trees.
I'm a directly impacted
that.
neighbor.
I just hate when they're in
I'm
the
a 20-year
chase.
resident of Benedict Canyon. I'm president of Save Our Canyons, dedicated to preserving
Everybody's
the
the
integrity
president of some
the Santa
fucking-
Monica Mountains. And when I started fighting this fight, I didn't have gray hair, I promise you. I want to ask everyone who stands with me to rise to their feet behind me so you can see just the depth of our opposition to this project. I am also a very proud union member for 34 years, and when I leave here, I'm going to return to the picket lines. I don't want to talk about the things that divide me from the other union members who stand before you today. I want to talk about the things that unite us, the things that unite all of us. We all want a city that we live in that's fair, okay? We want a city where the rich are not given special treatment and allowed to break the rules. While we all stand on the outside fighting for your attention, we want a system that's just and honest and treats everyone equally. Okay? That is something that no one in this room should disagree with. But that's not what happened here. There were conflicts of interest, and we need you to do better. We ask you to support Yaroslavsky's motion.
I don't follow politics, Esther.
So please remind us of the name you signed.
Please,
up
no
on.
politics in there.
Your
Except for
name.
this stupid shit.
Jim Roston.
Okay, please begin.
Thank you. Honorable Council, thank you for hearing us today, both sides. We all appreciate it. The question I have is, how did we get here? Did you see the LA Times article this weekend on Sunday? That shines some light on what's going on. You heard a lot about the environmental aspects. You've heard about the 11,000 local resident signatures against this. The community, in spite of everybody trying to tell us what's good for our community, the community's overwhelmingly against this. I'm interested in putting an exclamation point, though, on the conflict part. That's the most important. Paul Koretz, who was for this until he was against this when he realized everybody was going to turn on him.
What's up, Burpin?
His deputy, Sean Bayless, and his lovely wife, Stacy Brenner. I need to know her. She gets things done.
Is she hot?
She got in there for $174,000 by Mr. Safadi, who does everything by the book. Paid her $174,000, knowing she was an insider, to go ahead and get this thing off the ground. And the application was processed.
Thank you. We don't care. Thank you. Sit down. We don't care.
you.
We're going to turn your
Sorry,
mic off
you've
now.
run out of time.
Yeah, you've run out of time. Get out of here. I don't really give a fuck. You should just say that. Like, have the nuts. Just to say, I really don't care. Sit down.
Of your name.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Shira, and I live in Hugo Soto Martinez's district. I'm making a general public comment on agenda item number 1.
Okay.
When I read about this hotel and how the whole process got started, my heart sunk. I believe in fair government, and I can't imagine any of you would want this kind of unethical behavior in your offices. This is not a time to loosen our laws to destroy the environment, and it is not a time to bend the rules to help wealthy developers get whatever they want while the rest of us lose faith in the leaders we elected to protect us. We do not need more rich developers playing with their wealth, ruining our shared environment. It's not like they're building affordable housing. Also, what we need is higher wages and workers and more fair pay for workers.
Should have got a better education.
1%. So please don't make us lose faith today. Please do the right thing and approve Katie Yaroslavsky's motion to stop this unethical project and think about the environment for the future of young people in Los Angeles like me. Thank you.
Emotional damage. Thank you, Kevin Goodman, Crystal Romero, Lyndon Lob, Mark Amili, Mary Intoma, and Mason Smith.
Hi, if you'd please remind us.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, my name is Francisco Arago. And
Francisco.
I'm speaking for item 1.
Okay.
Good day, honorable council members. My name is Francisco Arago. I'm a member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Oh, he's making good money.
You know, this argument isn't unions versus the environment. My union specifically, we work tirelessly to build solar farms, the electric vehicle infrastructure. You know, we do a lot of background work to make sure that everything that we believe in gets put into motion. We are here to express support for the Bulgari Resort. Let's not circumvent the city's codified process. It is important that the project be allowed to proceed through review subject through the same rules and procedures that ensure through open deliberation. Let me also add that our union, we're home to over 2,000 apprentices that right now are struggling in this economy to survive, and we want to put them to work. We support this project. It will bring economic development and construction jobs. We respectfully ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Big money that dude be making.
When I call your name, please come forward to speak. We're going to try to have another 30 minutes of
That's what he should
public
say. He
comment
should be
in
dancing
chamber
around like I do,
before we go
because
to the
his shit,
phones. Yes, sir.
definitely falls.
Give us your name again, please.
My name is Johnny Escobedo, and I'm here to speak in opposition of item number 1.
Okay, and could you pull the microphone a little closer?
Just don't blast into it, dogs.
You know, We've heard the unions, which I represent, I'm an iron worker, speak for this project. We've heard against, the local residents speak against. You know, who's to say that this project will not be one that will assist the community?
I don't know, Newberry.
It's being built with green energy, and it can be used in other areas of the Santa Monica Mountains. Water's being brought in. We heard an ex-fire chief speak on this. So who's to say that we can't use this as a model for the future? Nobody says that it's got to be at every location. But this is something that we also need to take into consideration. Our firemen suffer a lot throughout the years during the hot times, and people lose their dwellings. So why can we not look at this as an advantage instead of a disadvantage? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're all making good cash. Stands to reason why they made their way there today.
Hi. So if you'd please remind us of the name you signed up under.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Crystal Romero speaking on item 1.
Okay.
Good afternoon, President Krikorian and council members. I'm with the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor, AFL-CIO,
didn't track.
representing 800,000 of LA's union workers across 300 affiliates in every
Hi,
sector.
Francine.
And we are here today to express our support for the Bulgaria Resort. This project will provide thousands of union jobs and employment opportunities, as well as revenue opportunities for the city. This project is signed a PLA that will create full-time and part-time union jobs. In a time where too many Angelenos are struggling to make ends meet, we must support the creation of union jobs. We know that the path out of poverty starts with a union job, and this project will provide those opportunities. City staff, including the Department of City Planning, has spent hundreds of hours reviewing the application submitted in 2018. Their analysis and information regarding the potential environmental benefits of the project are about to be published, and we'd like to ask that that information be finalized and shared with the public before a decision on the project is made. Please allow the public and responsible agencies to continue to review the project pursuant to the standard CEQA process and city procedures. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, you got to remember, none of those have any kind of seclusion, and none of them have the view. None of them are in a hill. That is on a hilltop.
So the name you signed up under?
Good afternoon. My name is Jordana
So,
Fransheim.
I know it
and I'm
sounds
speaking
stupid,
on
but those
agenda
kinds
number
of
1.
things
I stand
to
with
high-end
Councilman
people,
Yaroslavsky
billionaires,
in this motion.
we're going to go up there.
I was born and raised in this lovely city.
Not
I've
where the
lived
bums
all
sitting down
of
on the
my
street
life
off of
in
Wilshire
and
and
around
Beverly.
this, area that we are speaking about that is impacted by this hotel development. I've also lived in Nichols Canyon, so I have something to say about canyon life. I'm also an environmental documentary filmmaker, and I've seen the impacts of development on other parts of the world. And the Santa Monica Mountains are not only one of the many gems in this country, but in the city specifically. If we ruin it, then we cannot put it back to the way that it was before. We impact not only humans, but also animals and many species of trees. And when those trees are gone, we impact our environment, not only in this city, but in the state and onward. So I would ask you all to consider
not just that,
what
John.
it looks like if we ruin this area of Los Angeles. Thank you.
John, it's almost like
Thank
you've
you.
been taken away to the forest in a sense, and yet you're still so close. You're 20 minutes up into the hill. Now you got beautiful views, and you're almost, like I said, that's what they keep saying, in nature.
Heard lots of
Not in the
sides,
concrete jungle 20
I just
minutes
wanna
down
say
the
that
road.
It isn't a small thing worrying about the green
Like
belt.
Passages, Malibu.
Those of us that live in the canyons and those
Why
in
do
the
they go
rest of the
there?
city that often
For
come
the
up and
serene
enjoy in the
atmosphere.
open space. I just spent an awful lot of last autumn into December in this room on Zooms regarding the wildlife ordinance that had been studied and then passed, and those of us whose backyards back up to Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy or other things are told, even if we've lived there for 30 years, we are going to be giving up part of our property. We are going to be having to take down fences or not. We are going to
It
have
is
to be
bloodbath.
still paying property taxes, but respecting that we need to protect the wildlife and the greenery there. If a hotel is built, no matter what their intentions might be, no matter how valid and noble they might be, being LEED certified or environmentally well, it's going to take years to build that property, and you will never get back what you lose.
Wolf, these are people that are usually, we're really wealthy,
Thank you. Marion Toma,
30 to
Mason
50 grand
Smith, Maya
is not
Forbes,
much
Miguel
to them.
Motavo, Mike Stinky.
I've known a few people that
and,
went there.
Mindy Mann. Trying to get through that one.
Sobriety is worth every dollar, I guess.
My name is Katie
right?
Krashak, and I am here in support of Agenda Item 1.
Okay.
Members of the Council,
I'm coming to you as a representative of the next generation. I'm 25 years old and have known the Santa Monica Mountains for my entire life. My mother grew up in this canyon. My 90-year-old grandfather, who's sitting in the front row behind me, lives in this canyon and has for over 40 years.
That's it, John.
I want my future children, my future grandchildren, to be able to enjoy the beautiful and lush Santa Monica Mountains that generations before us have fought for decades to preserve and protect. These mountains are a finite resource and one of the few ecological safe havens we have left. Please, I urge you not to fall for an inconceivable, illogical project just because it is backed by deep development pockets of the richest man in the world. Please, do the right thing. Even if you took just one look at this location, you would see how ludicrous this all is. With the precedent that this would set, it's now or never. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mike Steinke, Mindy Mann, Monique Collifield. Smoke. Miss Lewis, Nikki Minor, Paul Moreno.
No, we haven't got to the calls
Hi,
yet.
speakers,
Calls are
if you
still
please
yet to
remind
come.
us
It's a
of the name
full
you signed up
fucking
on.
house.
Hi, my name is John Gemberling. I'm
Jesus,
speaking
John.
on item number 1. I would like to express my support for this
Bro.
motion. I have serious concerns about the environmental impact of this project and its effects on the biodiversity of the Santa Monica Mountains. Despite the claims of environmental friendliness of this project, the environment would undoubtedly be better off without it. In my opinion, we need affordable housing in this city. We need to be stewards of our environment. We do not need more luxury hotels. We do not need more businessmen raking profits from the earth. This project need not waste any more city planning resources. No support for the resort. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, John, I get what you're saying, and kind of like he's saying, they don't need another resort, but, you know, that's how wealthy people do. That's
Hi,
capitalism
speakers.
at its
Can you
finest.
Please remind us of your name.
And these people will make sure
my
this
speaker.
resort
Thank you. My name is
gets
Michael
built.
Stanky. I am here to speak in opposition to item number 1.
So remember that when you
whole
guys
great
vote.
set of
If you're
prepared
opposed to it,
remarks
remember that.
To support the Bulgaria Resort, but frankly, I've been sitting here for a couple of hours. Everything I want to say, you've heard multiple times over. So instead, I want to share an observation. We've listened today, and we've heard a lot of impassioned arguments on both sides and very contradictory sets of facts. It seems to me that we're about to get the release of the environmental impact study, so let's hold off. Let's let the process work the way it's supposed to. Let's see that. Let's see the results of that study that city workers have spent hundreds of hours on. Let's let the process unfold the way it's supposed to, and then let's make a decision on the actual facts instead of our impassioned arguments. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, if you'd please remind us of your
How
name.
they'd steal it one way or another.
My name is
Suckma.
Mason Smith, and I'm here to speak on item number 1.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, honorable council members.
That's
I'm
probably
here
the
speaking
double
on
dip.
Item 1. My name is Mason Smith, and I'm a hospitality worker and union member in Los Angeles and a resident of CD5. A lot of the places that we work are concrete jungles. This project would be a beautiful place to work that protects the environment, and that's why I support the Bulgari project.
See,
and
John?
ask you today to vote no on the motion. Thank
See,
you.
John?
sir.
Concrete jungle. That's the word he used. The serene difference of being
Hi,
just
if you'd please
10
remind
minutes
us
up
of
a
your
hill.
name.
Hi, my name is Nikki Minor. I've lived in the hills for over 50 years.
I mean, that's why Mickey
I want to
up
say
there
a
lives up there.
hotel, by any name, is still a hotel. Call it a retreat, it's still a hotel. Invoke the fancy name of European investors. A Bulgari hotel is a project that will house infinite transient
So
occupancy,
Bulgari is the owner.
be a perpetual short-term rental, and a continual party house in the
Bulgari.
middle of Benedict Canyon, a completely residential, very high fire hazard severity zone. A zone change to accommodate this project sets precedent for a scourge to forever endanger all Los Angeles hills and canyons. The planning department must reconsider jeopardizing a fragile residential zone just to benefit one man's venture or personal gain. Regardless of creative words by expediters, PR firms, lobbyists, the construction workers, the perilous project projected for Benedict Canyon must be denied once and for all with a vote in favor of the Yaroslavsky motion.
Thank you. Thank
No,
you.
I get it. And as soon as you open that can
Okay,
of worms,
Stephanie Powers,
John,
Stephanie
it's,
Robles,
it's open, right?
Stephen
you can't bring it
Drimmer,
back.
Tom Minko, Tony De Trinidad, Victor Kiantz, Walt and Zach.
Hi,
That's the reason why they live up there, guys. So they don't want to live in the concrete jungle.
My name is Mark
You know?
Amelie.
So they live 10 minutes, 20 minutes up a hill.
Agenda item
It's a
1.
different world up there.
I'm a member of Save Our Canyon, and I have been an observer of this project for 7 years now. We first heard of the hotel in 2016, and over 100 of us gathered and implored Paul Koretz to not allow this to happen. Still, by January of 2017, the developer of this project hired the planning deputy's wife, and the project was off to the races. The council member was lobbied by someone inappropriately close to his office, and he, by his own admission, asked the planning commission to accept the application, and the developer got what it paid for, a foot in the door. This behavior cannot be rewarded. I would support this project, this motion, and I would ask you to support this motion.
Thank you.
That's the whole point, Hoosier. These people can be in the Valley or Brentwood or Beverly Hills or Century City where they probably work in just 10 or 20 minutes and yet be away in a completely different, like you're living in the hills, like nowhere near LA with beautiful views.
I strongly support the motion to
With
stop
deer
this hotel.
deer in your yard and everything
we've heard
else.
a lot about wildfire risk, and we've heard
coyotes everywhere.
about the conflict of interest, which is very disturbing. But I think the most important thing is we need to protect our beautiful Santa Monica Mountains, and the environmental groups oppose this. No one has, they've said that it's environmentally friendly, but that is not what any of the environmental groups say. So I think the Santa Monica Mountains are precious, and if we don't start protecting our environment, I'm Tracy Park's district, and we have beautiful mountains there too, because the Santa Monica Mountains are just spectacular. And once we lose them, we can't get them back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have 15 more minutes of public testimony, so please come forward.
And then they go to the
Hi,
phone.
if you please remind us of the name. You
My
signed
name
up
is
with.
Stephanie Powers.
Austin Powers,
And
mom?
I'm here to speak in favor of motion number 1.
Okay, please begin.
As I look around at all of you, I can certainly see, for those of you who aren't talking,
Don't pay
that
attention.
many of you are bouncing your grandchildren on your knees, looking at them, and some of them are maybe asking about the future of this planet. The future of this planet, I don't think we need to remind everybody, is not good, especially when we have 8 billion people on the planet now, everybody trying to have a job, trying to find a place to live, and all of the elected officials trying to find an equitable way to accommodate their voters. The voters in this area that we're discussing today, and you've heard so much about the environmental impact, it's too bad.
No, it's
Sorry.
not. It really isn't, though. It really
Thank
isn't,
you.
though. It really isn't, though.
Next speaker, please.
Let's go.
Hi, if you'd please remind us of your name.
Yes, I am Mindy Mann, and I'm speaking
Mindy Mann.
in favor of motion number 1. I have lived in Benedict Canyon for 40 years and have been an active member of this community. It is absolutely absurd and outrageous that this project got this far. We are all in attendance today solely due to the greed and avarice of one man, of one developer. We are here because this developer purchased a piece of land in a purely residential area in the middle of our treasured Santa Monica Mountains. And instead of respecting the existing zoning limitations, he decided to ask the city to change all the regulations just for his sake, just so he could build a hotel. And why did he think he could make this outrageous request? Because the history of development in this city demonstrates that pay-to-play is a successful business plan. He felt safe in assuming that by spending millions of dollars on lobbyists, he would get his project approved regardless of how inappropriate it is for our community and regardless of the irreparable damage it would do to our unique and invaluable Santa Monica Mountains. and the animals that inhabit them.
Thank you.
AKA councilmen and women. Lobbyist. AKA councilmen and women. What happened to the...
Hi.
Oh, they've
Please
muted.
remind us of your name.
My name is Scott Steindorf. I'm a filmmaker here in Los
Steindorf.
Angeles. I have seen the plans for the development. I know the real estate developer. He's a man of integrity. I've seen his projects. A lot of people have talked about the environment. He has been very sensitive in the design of this project for the environment. A lot of people are speaking out about all the environmental impact, yet we haven't seen the study. So I don't think he should be denied due process to show us what impact it will have. And it's a beautiful project, and I support it immensely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daddy's all dirty. NLM, shout out to NLM, they're in the house.
Hi, speakers.
Shout out to NLM.
Please remind us of the
and
name you signed
everybody
up under.
raiding with you guys.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary.
You guys are
I'm here to speak
And of course,
on behalf of item 1.
What's up, Robert?
My name is Mary. I'm with Unite Here Local 11 and resident of CD5. This motion today would effectively rescind the ability of the Department of the City Planning to further proceed with this project. I recommend the city instead wait to vote on the merits of the project and vote no on this motion before you today.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for your time.
He knows Daddy's dirty.
Thank you. Next in line, please.
Hi, if you please remind us of your name.
Hi.
Sure, Juan Munoz.
Hi.
Good afternoon, City Council
Jesus
President
fuck.
Krikorian, and
Relax.
honorable council members. I'm here speaking on agenda item 1.
Too much
My name
coffee.
is Juan Munoz, and I'm with Unite Here Local 11, the Hospitality Workers Union.
Relax,
The
Juan.
union values projects that combine good jobs with effective plans on green space and the environment. Here, the city has a choice. A modest hotel proposal that guarantees preservation of green space and native trees versus the likelihood that the land will be used as it is currently zoned
What's up, Off-Road?
for luxury housing without any guaranteed protection of green space. For hospitality workers, the better development choice at this site is the project that provides both long-term good jobs and significant environmental preservation. We urge you to vote no on this motion before you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
I urge you to urge. What's up, Texas?
Hi.
Yeah, we're just watching this craziness.
If you'd please remind us of your name.
Yes, Robert
He did.
Mann.
I do stank. Terry.
I'm here to
Terry.
speak on item number 1 in support of the motion. I would like to speak today about the developer's empty threat to sue the city if the council grants the motion.
Fucking Daddy.
And it is an empty threat. And the 3 reasons why you should grant the motion and end the project today. First, the exact claims raised in the developer's threat to sue have already been rejected by our 2nd District Court of Appeal in the Las Lomas case that you heard about earlier.
Bulgari
The
suing.
city has every legal right to stop this project now.
But they won't.
Second, it makes no sense to allow this project to run its course because after the city, the community spend millions of dollars and thousands of hours, this project is going to be rejected. Third, if you allow what seems like a corrupt process to continue, you are condoning it and ratifying it.
That's exactly
And
what
you-
they do. Maybe one day when you wake up to the real world, sir, you'll understand. You voted for these people. They're completely corrupt. You see it. You haven't opened your eyes yet.
Please remind
You're
us of your
probably
name.
woke, which means you're asleep.
You can pull the microphone up if you want to.
Hello. Oh, there you go.
Jesus
There you
H. Christ.
Now there.
Does anybody
Good
know how
morning,
to
my name is
fucking
Tony
use a
B.
mic?
Trinidad from the Painters and Allied Trades, District Council 36, and we're here against
Bro.
the motion. So this project will be a LEED Gold certified, will be a greenhouse gas neutral, fully electric, have substantial open space, and a community dog park accessible to the public.
Hi, Carla.
Along with the environment, the community benefits from nearly $1 billion in economic impact with a project labor agreement that has been signed, ultimately creating new full-time and part-time jobs and an annual potential revenue of nearly $10 million to the city. Furthermore, this will honor the environment and wildlife. The perimeter fencing will allow deer and other wildlife to roam freely. The number of trees will increase significantly and will have a net zero greenhouse effect. So therefore, we urge the City Council to vote no until the city finishes its due process. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the thing about, development. They're going to remove trees, but then they have to put trees in. No resort has
Hi,
no
speaker, if you
trees.
please
Like,
remind
come
us
on.
of,
They're going to
name
put
you
on
signed
their
up
own
under.
landscaping.
I signed up under Walt.
Okay.
Just Walt.
Okay.
I'm speaking on agenda
DeWalt?
item 1.
Okay.
Honorable council members, I just want to say I've been reading about this project and the process that got it started, and honestly, it sounds messy and sketchy. This can't be how things work in this town. Secret deals where the wife of the planning and land use deputy is working for the developer to get the laws changed. I mean, come on now. This is cuckoo bananas. From harming wildlife to chopping down 260 protected trees and other environmental destruction, this project is the wrong idea in the wrong place and at the wrong time. Please accept your responsibility to stand up for what's right. Don't make this about politics. Make it about doing the right thing. Please pass the motion to stop this hotel. And with 15 seconds to spare, thank you.
Other than an oak tree.
Thank you.
Because the oak tree is protected by California, ladies and gentlemen, just like a bald eagle is. Can't cut oak trees down. There's no oak trees up there that I can think of. Oaks are not up
please
there.
remind us of
Got
the name you
pine
signed up under
trees
and what you want to
for
speak on.
sure.
Oh, if you'd pull the mic down
know,
a little bit, that'd be great.
Maybe some
My name is
eucalyptus.
Chantel Daniels, and I thank you for hearing me today.
Maybe figs.
I'd like to come before the council
Man.
because
Ain't no oak tree up there.
in
What
2008,
protected tree is he
the
talking
council
about?
introduced a motion to ban smoking in apartments and condos and things like that. And I'm a Los Angeles resident, a mental health professional, and I know how important it
No
is for
sequoias up
environments
there,
to be
dude.
safe.
Northern
And
California.
I want people to have the right to
I'm
be able to
Southern
come
dirt.
home, to refresh themselves, and to be able to live without the effects of second and third hand smoke impacting them. We're in a mental health crisis, and I really would urge the council to continue the motion that was first introduced in 2018 and passed.
Kevin, they're not
a
up
no
there.
smoking ban on multifamily units so that people can have the right to breathe clean air, come home and refresh themselves, and preserve their mental and emotional health. Thank you.
Telling you. That's what I used to do. I'd dig out
Thank
trees,
you for your
box them all
comments.
day long. Those kinds of trees, oak trees are here.
This will
More
be our last speaker in
Castaic and
chambers.
stuff
We'll
area.
go to the phones.
They're not here.
Hi, so if you'd please
Not
remind
that
us of
I
the name you
know,
signed
not
up
what
under.
they're
Yes,
talking
my name
about.
is Connor Everett. I want to thank you very much. I actually grew up at 9800 Wanda Park Drive, as my mother did before me. We lived and we rented for many years. It is a beautiful wild space
Third-hand
with
smoke,
wildlife
yes.
and part of corridors. It needs to remain so. But I also have to say that there are fires, there are landslides, there are floods. And when I was 11 crossing the street to catch the school bus, I was hit by a car that comes around a fast corner and sped up. After that, my father made sure that you didn't have to cross the street for a bus, public school bus. But I also do environmental work and environmental justice work. I understand people want jobs, but this is the wrong place at the wrong time. And I urge you to absolutely refuse to move forward with this and accept this motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, if you
Thank you.
if you cut an oak tree down, you'll get a $50,000 fine here.
He has probably been informed of the rules and regs.
All right, so
Yes,
here we go,
we've
guys. We're
read
going to the
out all
calls.
The, call-in information and the rules.
Please,
so I believe
Mr.
we're ready
Herman
to take
and
speakers
Mr.
from the phone.
Spindler and Mr. Harlan, please, can we get
First caller,
all three?
which items would you like to speak
Caller?
on?
Caller? And Brock Landers. What are you for Brock?
Oh, okay. Speaker, you there?
Hey, it's Rob Kwan. I'd like to speak on general public comment.
Okay, you have a minute, and it's a little bit hard to hear you, Mr. Kwan, so if you can speak a little more directly into the microphone. Floor is yours.
Okay. So I just wanted to...
Fixer-upper, Sammy.
We'll be adjourning in memory of Gloria Molina today. And usually whenever we honor one of your colleagues in chambers, you all turn to that petty thing you do where you can never get over who endorsed against you at that race where you really needed it.
Uh-huh.
So I'd like to recognize the elected officials that endorsed Jose Huizar against Gloria Molina back in 2015. They include Paul Krikorian, Bob Blumenfield, and Curran Price, and staffers from Mitch O'Farrell, Englander, Brett. They were all getting behind Jose Huizar back in the day and getting out the vote for him. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Only sat there for 45 minutes for that.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Hour for that.
Yes, I like to speak on item number 7 and item number 20. I guess general comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for those items, followed by a minute for general. Please begin, speaker.
Hold on just one minute. I wrote this all down.
And again, it's hard to hear you, speaker. So
And
if
you
could
know
speak
you
a
only
little
have a
louder into the
minute,
microphone,
right?
That would be great.
Hold on, I wrote this all down. You didn't have it ready?
Okay, maybe I need to go off speaker. No, okay. I think. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Hello? Okay, so in relation to item number 20, clearly this is a hidden agenda and some behind-the-scene favors not brought to the forefront. I oppose this motion, not for the alleged effort to show support for Armenians, but because it is inappropriate to declare any portion of the city as territory for a particular race or ethnicity, whether you do it actually or symbolically. Doing so only furthers the notion that a section of town is more welcoming and more preserved for one ethnicity over another. It reinforces segregation and separatism instead of inclusion. I am not an Armenian, but I too live in this district. As an African American, I live here without reference to my ethnicity or reference to the struggle of my people, but with a conscious awareness that I was able to achieve this through hard work and with God's grace, without someone holding me up or making gestures to validate my being or supporting my cause. Your job as elected officials is to govern, lead without bias, and to unite, not make efforts or gestures that reinforce separatism. You can show support for people and causes without putting up sounds around town that show territory for specified race or ethnicities. In fact, you need to take down all the signs around town that lends itself to racist acts of separatism. All streets belong to all people without borders. As for number 7, on the homeless emergency, the structure and handling of this endeavor has been and continues to be disastrous.
It's true.
You can continue in general public comment.
Why you...
Particularly paragraphs 4 and 5 of the council's resolve to suspend competitive bids and which ridiculously unleashes exorbitant high spending for poor services at taxpayers' expenses. You have been paying hotels over $4,600 a month for a single, barely livable room there's little or non-existent supervision or regulation whereby drugs and crimes are rampant and people are turning up dead from an overdose or violent crime. You have demonized good landlords who charge less than half for an entire apartment for the pricing for paying deteriorated rooms in drug-infested hotels that are not held to the same standard of habitability requirements as everyday residential landlords. People go in the front door and out the back door if they're not allowed to do their drugs, which creates a revolving door whereby you keep asking for more money from taxpayers.
Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
I can hear the president now.
Shut your mouth. Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller
with the last 4 digits 1510.
Caller?
Please begin.
Hi, hello. Yes, I would like to speak on item 1. Good morning, Council. My name is Victor Reyes, and I'm here on behalf of the Valley Industry and Commerce Association. We are here to express our support for the Bagari Resort and Estates project. The proposed motion to discourage the general plan amendment application is premature and looks to circumvent the city's codified procedures. It is important that the project be allowed to proceed through review, subject to the same rules and procedures that ensure thorough and open deliberation. City staff, including the Department of City Planning, have spent a considerable amount of time and resources reviewing the application since 2018. Their analysis and the information regarding the potential environmental benefits of the project will be published. That information should be shared with the public. We urge you to allow the public and the agencies to continue the review of the project pursuant to the standard CEQA process and city procedures. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next caller, please. We'll take 2 more callers.
What? Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Fuck.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Item number 7 and a general comment.
Sure, you have a minute for each. Please begin.
231 East 25th Street. 14 units for homeless men with restrictions on their residence. District 9. 7041 Spavolia Boulevard. 34 units for homeless veteran families in District 2. 1904 13th Street. 23 units for women with or without children, and that includes our homeless veteran trans women community in District 15. 7310 South Figueroa, 17 units. 1428 South Pedro, 11 units. District 8. Veteran Social Services, the only nonprofit veteran service agency in the state of California, would like to be part of the table in talking about providing 227 beds for homeless veteran men, women, and children. We're asking the city to work with us so that we can all have a part in, at the very least, housing our homeless veterans instead of waiting for November 11th, where we want to show our little razzle-dazzle. For my general comment,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez had some very excellent points during the budget meeting when it came to homeless population. There has been more money thrown into the streets than for the people who live on them. Veteran Social Services wants to provide those answers to her very poignant statements. So would the city take into consideration talking to Veteran Social Services so at the very least, the homeless veteran population can be served? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. And this will be our next and final caller.
You asshole.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Come on, somebody good. Let's go out with a bang. Please, somebody big.
Caller with the
Come on,
last
Mr.
4 digits,
Spiller.
8910. Please
Spiller.
press *6 to unmute.
So, okay.
Hi, I would like to speak on the first motion.
It's not Mr. Spindler.
Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kevin Goodman. I am here in support of Bulgari Hotel. I moved away from here. I grew up in LA. I moved away from here 10
She don't
years
even live
ago.
here anymore,
And since
motherfucker.
coming back, I honestly do not recognize my city. This city's vital.
Oh, he
It
came
needs
back.
more jobs. It needs more infrastructure. And we need a future of developments that are actually environmentally sound. This project does that. The fact that this motion was originally put forward with specifically 5-year-old plans that did not take into account the ways in which the developer has specifically responded to neighborhood concerns and environmental concerns and creating an open space. And by the way, opposition right now is yelling at me while
Who's
I'm trying
screaming?
to make this statement, which is my right as a public. That is what this opposition has been doing the entire time, using hearsay and their own opinions rather than relying on an independent environmental impact report, which will give the facts that will allow this council to make sound decisions. I am an environmentalist. I am very much committed to due process as well.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you.
Speaker.
We don't give a shit.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we've now taken nearly 2 hours. Of
Nearly.
public
We've
comment,
actually worked almost 2
and
hours, guys.
With that, I'm going to close public comment on all agenda
You
items
asshole. I hope
and
they make
close
all
general
kinds of
public
noise and
comment.
get stupid.
So
don't let
Madam
them
Clerk,
work.
What items are
Don't
now
let them work.
available for us
Get
to vote
stupid and loud.
The council may vote on items 8 through 9,
Sucks.
11 through 18.
Mr.
and
Herman
20
got
through
himself
23.
kicked out. Where the
Those
fuck
items
is
are now
Mr.
before us.
Sachs and Mr. Spindler?
Members, I see
Did they
no
have
members
them
wishing to be
fucking
heard on
bumped
those items,
off?
so let's go ahead and open the
I
vote.
want to tell you, I think they bumped off
Close
Mr.
the
Sachs.
roll and tabulate the votes.
And Mr. Spindler,
14 ayes.
we ain't seen him in a little bit.
Thank you.
Been a
On
couple shows
item
now.
Number 24.
Worried.
If we can go ahead and read the settlement and I'm going to turn to Mr. Blumenfield. I know this item was waived out of the Budget and Finance Committee, but can we take this up in open session?
Yeah, I think we can. It was waived out of Budget and Finance because city attorneys needed to act quickly, but it is a typical trip and fall case. I don't think we need to go into closed session, even though we have not heard it in Budget and Finance. I've looked at it. It's very similar to other cases.
Very good. Thank you so much. So, Madam Clerk, Mr. City Attorney, if you could please read out the settlement, and then we can proceed to a vote, unless members have questions or concerns that need to be taken up in closed session.
Thank you. For item 24 in the case entitled Silva Manvelian versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $300,000 in settlement.
And we'll
Okay.
we'll need a mover in a second.
300 grand for what?
Okay. Mr. Blumenfield moves. I will second the City Attorney's recommendation. That matter is now before us. Let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
14 ayes.
Thank you. On item number 19, there was a motion.
A trip and fall,
by
300 grand,
Councilmember Rahman
right? Did
for
I hear that
Mr.
right?
Harris Dawson, which was seconded by Mr. Price. Does anybody wish to be heard on that?
300K?
item? Seeing none, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
14 ayes.
All right. On item, we'll go next to item number 7. And this is the emergency declaration. Councilmember Rodriguez, did you want to be heard, or do you want to hear from the mayor's office and staff first?
The mayor's office or the CAO's office
Yes.
is here to answer questions.
Yes, we have their representatives here. So if we could ask them to come to the front table, please.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know, man. I just hate that, they have so many people talking, and yet they don't never get to enough of them. And, and then they start these meetings fucking 20 minutes
They were
late.
teed up.
Could have
I
got 20
apologize,
more
council
minutes of
members. So
people
we're gonna
talking.
Hold this item on the desk, and we'll go to item number 1.
And all this
On
shit you
item
can do
number
yourselves. Get
1,
the fuck
this is
out of here.
agendized
Go in another
both
room and do
for
it. You're
open
going to
and
vote
closed
all yes
session.
anyways.
So we're going to begin with discussion on this matter, not involving legal advice.
Yeah, she's not wearing black today. It's a
If
miracle.
members have questions, concerns that they want to discuss with council,
Must
we'll
be at
take
the
those
dry
up in
cleaners.
closed session. So after we have initial discussion now, we're going to hold it on the desk so that we can go to closed session. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Fucking bullshit, And notice now that when there's things
Thank you,
to talk
Council
about,
President.
every one of them is there. You notice that, right? Now they're all
Colleagues,
here.
Before us is a motion
know?
to request that the Director of City Planning reverse his decision to initiate the general plan amendment process for the proposed Bulgari Hotel project in the Santa Monica Mountains.
To
I
reverse
do
it.
not ask for this vote lightly, but I strongly believe that it is necessary to protect the integrity of our planning process. I'm a former land use attorney, and this project does not pass the smell test. We should vote to end it now, and I'm going to tell you why. There are 4 reasons. First, let's talk about the process that got us to this place. As city ethics records show, the developer for this project has spent over $3 million in lobbying efforts. I'm sure that this doesn't come as a surprise to any of you.
Looks
as
like
you've
it's been a
hearing
week
from
since
all
she
of those
washed her
lobbyists
hair.
Over the last few weeks, urging you to vote against this motion.
She looks all greased.
It's not just that $3 million is an insane amount of money to try to spend and influence the council here. It's that one of the earliest paid lobbyists listed on those records is and was
To influence the
married
council.
to my predecessor's former planning deputy while the developer was actively working to get this general plan amendment initiated. And it's not just that they were married, it's that she was actively lobbying for this project while her husband was still a city employee. The lobbyist was paid $50,000 while her husband was still collecting a paycheck from the council office as my predecessor's director of planning and legislation. Let that sink in.
So you're saying that some of you guys are
There
corrupt?
is absolutely no
No
evidence
way.
that the city ethics office
No
or the
way.
city attorney's office were ever consulted about this clear conflict
My
of
shock
interest
face.
that this presented and whether or how they could mitigate that conflict. There are hundreds of land use lobbyists registered in Los Angeles.
Mind blown.
It's
yeah.
not a coincidence that this developer just so happened to hire the wife of my
Imagine that.
predecessor's planning deputy. He knew exactly what he was doing. And over a period of 2 years, she was paid $175,000 to lobby and get this general plan amendment initiated. In fact, she was the one who personally submitted and signed the general plan amendment application. The optics of this alone are terrible, and the conflict was real. And as public servants, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard to ensure transparency in our land use decision making. At the very best, the optics of how the general plan amendment process began are rotten. And we as a city council have an obligation to right the ship and to stand up to the backroom influence peddling that has corrupted our land use processes for decades. It erodes public trust in our institutions, and we have to root it out. We should stop throwing good city resources here after bad. Arguments that it would be unfair to stop the process now are deeply disingenuous, given the conflicts of interest that existed when this process began. If you feel that it's unfair to stop the process now, how are we going to feel in 6 months or a year or two after millions more have been spent and there's a completed EIR? This is not going to get easier for us to end later. And this is part of the reason why I'm introducing a motion this morning, along with my colleague Tim McCosker, that would preclude lobbyists that are close relatives of council staff from lobbying on project in that council district. A firewall isn't enough. Not that there was a firewall here. Which brings me to my second reason for why we should end this project now. The fact is, on the merits, the general plan amendment process should never have been initiated to begin with because the project is not a good idea. The community is overwhelmingly opposed to this project, as I know your offices have heard, and as we heard this morning. Also, environmental groups like Tree People, the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, the Sierra Club, and the Center for Biological Diversity are all strongly opposed to this project. That's because, as proposed, the Bulgari Hotel project would build a luxury playground for the ultra-wealthy high up in a low-density residential hillside community. I actually went out last 2 Sundays ago and saw it. It's a gorgeous, oak-studded canyon.
Oh, there is oaks, huh?
Not where
Didn't
a
think
hotel
there
would.
was. So maybe there are.
The proposal
there are
consists
oaks.
of a
They are
hotel which,
protected.
if we are to use other Bulgari hotels as a baseline, would have rates as high as $10,000 per night. It also features a private funicular to ascend the steep hillsides, as well as 8 mega mansions, upwards of 30,000 square feet, all in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. This comes at a time as the city is actively moving away from intensified use in our hillsides, taking steps to preserve wildlife.
10,000 a
through
night is
forthcoming
nothing for
wildlife
those
protection
people.
ordinance,
That's a tip
and
for the
working to
waitress
preserve
or
our
waiter.
vast remaining open spaces. We don't even allow multifamily housing in the hillsides, much less a luxury resort. The last time a new hotel was allowed in the Santa Monica Mountains was 1940. It has been 83 years, and we should not reverse course now. So the second reason, this is a bad project. Third is the evidence that will be required in court to support the planning director's decision if he chooses to take us up on our motion today. We're moving today just to ask him to initiate the process to rescind, not to rescind it. We're not rescinding it. We don't have that authority here. So the standard of review when we go to court on this is whether the decision to revoke the general plan amendment initiation was arbitrary and capricious.
Revoke.
Is there plausible
Keyword.
evidence in the intervening time that justifies the reversal of direction? The reality is that plenty has changed since this process was initiated. Our understanding of the climate crisis has evolved. Several massive wildfires have affected and will continue to affect this area. One in the Palisades a couple years ago, a huge one up in Malibu that decimated a huge chunk of our Santa Monicas. All happened in the intervening 5 years. The Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy has been recognized as a CEQA trustee agency, and the city's safety element in the general plan included updated policies in 2021 that directly address concerns around overdevelopment in the Santa Monica Mountains. Then there's SB 9, which we're working on to make sure doesn't apply up in our hillsides. The County of Los Angeles has already moved to limit its application up there. So there's state law, county law, and local law all moving away from an intensification of uses in our mountains. My motion contains even more details and evidence to the effect, so we have plenty of evidence to hang our hat on should Vince Bertoni decide to stop the process. Finally, fourth, precedence. This action today is supported by precedents. I've heard concerns from some of you about the precedent this motion would set. I can assure you that I would not come to you with this request if I was not confident that the legal authority existed and precedence was on our side. It is. In 2008, former Councilmember Greg Smith came before this body with a very similar request to end consideration of a project before the draft EIR was completed, years after the developer had been allowed to start the process. You can read about it in the LA Times. A young reporter by the name of David Zahnizer wrote all about it. At the time, council members expressed the same concerns as I've heard on this project, worried that the action would leave Los Angeles vulnerable in court. The developers did sue, but we won. The judge found that the California Environmental Quality Act does not require the city to complete and consider an EIR before rejecting a project. That is established case law. Again, in 2016, this body adopted a motion brought by then Councilmember David Ryu to reverse direction on a general plan initiation in the Cahuenga Pass to build hundreds of residential units. His predecessor, Tom LaBonge, had initiated that effort, and David Ryu, with this council's support, ended it. So we have precedent on our side. It doesn't happen very often, but this is a big deal. This doesn't happen very often. It only happens when there's a lot of evidence supporting reversing course. So we have precedent on our side to pass this motion. What I'm concerned about is the precedent we set if this motion fails, and we allow this process to continue. If this motion fails, then we're essentially saying that if you have enough money and can hire enough lobbyists in LA, even ones that are married to all of your planning deputies, you can build whatever you want, wherever you want, using whatever murky, shady means you see fit to deploy.
No shit,
It's
Sherlock.
dangerous, it's unethical, and we have the opportunity to stop it right now. We don't have to wait 6 months or 9 months. Case law says that we can do it now, which is why I'm asking for your aye vote today and move to adopt the motion. Thank you. very
Either
much.
you're a horse with fucking blinders, or you're the most obtuse motherfucker I ever met.
Thank you. I'm sorry, folks. Thank you. Thank you, but we have business to proceed with. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me. There will be no shouting out.
There'll be no clapping. There'll be no shouting out.
I have a bunch
What
of
a-
questions for city attorney
what a-
and planning, but those are
Those will
I think
take place.
closed
What a
session
fucking-
questions, so I defer to my colleagues. I don't want to say anything.
Thank you. Councilmember Blumenthal.
I mean, he really
I
is
wanna
such
rise
a.
in support of Ms.
He really is.
Yaroslavsky's
He really is.
motion. Although I love the PLAs that are associated with this project, I can't
Jazz
support the
hands.
project the way it is now. This is a very sensitive area of the city
Oh yeah, he's
environmentally.
grumpy.
I also want to be
No
clear, this
coughing.
motion is simply
No coughing.
requesting
Remember
the
that. Remember the
Director
guy
of Planning
yesterday?
to
No- or
consider
last week? No
rescinding
coughing.
The GPA. It's not actually taking
No, no laughing.
It's a highly sensitive
No
habitat
clapping.
area, home to wildlife.
Show me the
corridors,
papers.
Extremely
Und
high
Schweizer
forest
dieser.
severity zone.
He's just missing the little
You know, for
mustache.
those of
It's
you
all
who
he's
know
little.
me,
It's
you
all
know
he's
that
missing, and the meth.
Protecting open space has been a part of my life. I used
You
to
know what I
work
mean?
with Santa Monica
I could
Mountain
see him on some
Conservancy
meth and a little
for number of
mustache.
years, strategically buying back parcels of open space so that we can connect our wildlife corridors and we can have this amazing city that is bisected by the Santa Monica Mountains. And that is it. We are an incredibly lucky city to have that piece of wildlife, that corridor.
He's gonna
that
be like
corridor. One
Hitler
of the
at
things
the
that makes us
Olympics.
Such a unique city.
All of rocking because he
And
was on all that fucking meth.
We're on the
I
cusp
got
of
some crystal
passing a
meth. I
wildlife
figured we could do
corridor,
it together.
Motherfucker couldn't even sit
ordinance.
still.
But if we move forward on this project, then that ordinance doesn't apply.
Grinding his
to the
teeth.
project
Oh,
that's in
sorry,
front.
thank you.
There's a lot of sensitivities around this project, and I don't want to repeat what Ms. Yaroslavsky stated because you did a great job of laying out all of the reasons, but I wanted to express my support for what you were saying, and also as someone who's experienced the Woolsey fire in my district and around that area, we know
Quit
how
being
much
burdensome.
of a tinderbox so much of our areas are, and this area is exactly that. So we need to be extremely careful. I think what you're proposing is prudent, and I urge an aye vote.
Thank you. All right. I see no other members on the queue at this point, but we will hold this on the desk so that we have continued discussion in closed session. And if any members wish to be heard after that, we can do that as well. But now we're going to hold that item on the desk. We're going to go to item number 7. This is the mayor's emergency declaration, and so I'd like to ask the CAO staff and mayor staff to come to the
Emergency.
front table, please.
Emergency
And,
declaration.
I understand
That
you
idiot
have
hasn't done shit yet.
An oral report to present
been
to
there
the
fucking
council
6 months, ain't done a
regarding
fucking
the state
thing
of
almost.
emergency.
I know, 5
and then
months.
we will go to Councilmember Rodriguez for questions, and any other members who wish to be heard.
Remember when they had
Good
the
mor- good afternoon,
monkeypox
rather.
emergency?
Good afternoon.
They literally
So I will-
declared an emergency for monkeypox. That's what they did. Yes. Again, I ask you in the chat room really quickly. And I'm not talking about on your TikTok feed. How many people in real life have you seen with monkeypox? I'm willing to bet it's that many.
And everything that I'm going to go through today will
Just gonna go out on a
is-
limb
is
and say it's
account
that
up
many.
until April 28th. We can have a discussion about activity that has taken place after April 28th.
There's a
but
couple
in terms of
zeros.
all of the numbers and the expenditures.
There's a none.
It's from the
Oh, there's a
beginning of the
one.
operation.
Hey,
to-
dog, you
through
actually
April
saw
28th.
somebody, huh?
So
Or you
through
just
April
was
28th,
trying to push
there
zero
have
and the
been,
one was too close? I don't know.
1,205
Maybe it's at the other end of the
placements.
keyboard.
There's been 15 encampment operations.
You're the
in 10
only
council
one
districts,
in
3
hundreds of
operations in
people.
Council District 8, 3 in
You're a
Council
rarity,
District
bro. Go buy a
11, 2
ticket.
operations
Go buy a lotto
in Council
ticket.
District 14.
Westo
and an
says he's seen
operation in
12.
Council Districts 2, 3, 4,
He was at a
5,
monkeypox
9,
gangbang.
13, and 15.
All right, guys.
There has been a total of, through April 28th, 22,437 hotel room nights. That is up from our last report, up from 8,152. There's been 11 housing fairs, and there have been utilization of 25 hotels. On the expenditure front, the estimated amount that has been incurred, that is actual services provided through
Sick,
April
Catherine,
28th,
you know.
is $12,850,000. That's $2.5 million for hotels, $6.4 million for the extension.
You got
of
zero
the
claims,
LA
Terry?
Grand,
Not even
separate
one?
from the hotel cost. Service providers for the LA Grand, $3.2 million.
Some
We
smells
project at
fishy.
this time that through June 30th, they're based on the work that's been done since through April 28th. The homeless emergency account will spend or will incur $33 million or $34 million of obligations. Based
Guys,
on
I'm
work
going to go
that has
feed stinks
happened
real
that
quick
has
because I
taken
didn't think it was
place
going to go this long.
after
So
April
just give me
28th,
about a
to
minute
the
or so. I'll be
issuing of
right
the
back.
report.
I
We
can tell he's
project
hungry.
at this time about $44 million would be
Be back
expended
one
based on the
minute.
additional work through
Un momento,
June
por
30th.
favor.
As it relates to contracting, there has been through the Emergency Authority, there's been contracting for LA Grand Services, 3 contracts for the service provider, for nursing, and for security. There are 10 contracts through LASA for service providers conducting the inside safe operations, and we are in process of finalizing 25 contracts with the motels. And having contracts with the motels will make it much easier. It will standardize the process and make the verification, the payment much easier for the hotels that are being utilized for inside safe. I can speak to the county involvement should the council wish to go into that in terms of what's being leveraged. In future reports, we will capture the leverage funds and the direct contributions that the county is making. The report that was issued this morning, we did not include that, but we can talk about that should you have questions.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. A bit on the use of the emergency declaration.
Just pull it
Can
a
you hear
little
me?
bit closer if you could.
A bit on the use of the emergency declaration. Good afternoon, everyone. As we have gone through the work, what we have seen is that the emergency declaration relies on the emergency power of the mayor and the council for the process change components to both Executive Directive 1 and 3. So that the work that has been done, to, I guess what I would say, to flatten the system in planning for Executive Directive 1, which is about promoting affordable housing and prioritizing affordable housing, What I can tell you is that thus far, the planning department has issued approvals for more than 15 new affordable and permanent supportive housing projects in under 60 days from application. So it is well in hand working. In total, there are over 360 projects that have qualified under Executive Directive 1 for streamlining, and they make up over 8,200 units that are currently being tracked. For many aspects of this work, the emergency declaration is not needed. However, for some of the work done for approvals, for hearings, appeals, and CEQA, when the emergency declaration expires, so will the authority of the multidisciplinary team of agencies to move these projects forward. It will also expire. So I imagine some discussion in the future about how we may want to solidify that for the future. But at the moment, when this sunsets, so will the ability of the agencies to move all of these applications forward. As it relates to Executive Directive 3, which is about developing the inventory of public property and the process for accelerating affordable and interim housing construction on public land, we face a similar situation. That the executive directive permits for this purpose the waiving of a zoning review and other requirements, including parking, that were not waived in the initial ED1. So when this sunsets as an emergency declaration, so will the authority of the different agencies working together to move these deals forward. So it's overwhelmingly about the process requirements in the emergency declaration, which have allowed us to move forward. So I'm imagining in the future, sir, a discussion about those things. As it relates to contracting, there we have been able, and I would say with judicious use on this level to push some things forward. So an example of some of the contracts which have moved. A personnel department contract with Chrysalis for staffing at temporary
Oh, my
homes.
girlfriend's here today.
A CAO safe parking contract with community partners at the
Shout out
airport.
to my girlfriend.
A CAO contract with PATH for general outreach efforts relating to Inside Safe. An LAHD contract with a security company for assistance at the Skid Row Housing Trust properties now that they are in receivership.
Hopefully I didn't
You all
miss any
know,
great stuff. I
in
know
a
I
difficult
didn't.
situation.
Right, Robert? It's about that
Have
time.
entered into contracts with service providers.
Might as well
providers
watch
of outreach
fucking
for various
Amsterdam.
encampment locations.
Sun just
also
went
as a
down in
result
the
of
dam.
powers that you've afforded us.
Beautiful.
And just a
This is a little
couple
center
of
square where you
consultant
come off
contracts,
the
too.
train, come out.
There are other examples.
This is like the
but they
first
all
thing you
fall
see in
the
Amsterdam.
same general idea.
Then you
and
get on the
subject
little
matter,
trolley if you want
to
right
move
here.
this through.
Take you
So
into like the head,
That's our
the
report that gives
city,
a good sampling of the types of things
in the
that we
city
use the
of
emergency
Amsterdam. I
declaration
mean,
for.
you're in Amsterdam
Thank
here,
you
but you know what I
very
mean,
much.
like the
Councilmember
downtown where all the
Rodriguez.
shops are.
Thank you,
and all
Mr.
that.
President. Thank you both for
It's not
being
very
here.
far though. You can walk 5-6 blocks.
So I want to first preface my remarks by
close.
saying that here we are
You're
several
minutes
months in, and this is only the
from the
second
red light
report we're
district.
getting, and it lands on the day that we're actually reconsidering the extension of the
Yeah, it's
emergency
beautiful, huh?
order, and that is problematic. Because
There's a
what
little
was
trolley.
committed when we first
Silent
made
death.
this decision was that we would get updates
Water
with
taxi
regularity. That has
over there.
not materialized. And so I just want to remind everybody that as we prepare in the context of the conversations that we had with respect to budget, we're not waiting for the new fiscal year to start getting these with regularity.
I think she's been watching
and with
Smoke and
far
Scan
more
chat.
specificity than what is currently
See
being
how you guys
provided.
went in on all the black
the
suits she
oversight
wears,
in not
dresses.
providing what has been leveraged with county
she
resources
changed it
is
up.
very problematic.
Same with the guy.
Because absent that information,
Brock Landers
it's hard
changed
for
it
us
up
to
for him.
ascertain what, if anything,
What is the red
being
light district,
duplicative
Jeff?
in the process,
Google
what
it,
we
man.
are funding versus
That's where you
what
get
we
laid.
should be leveraging from the county, which LASA should already be
Can
providing.
buy
which
yourself
SPA
a-
leads are already providing.
2 hot
particularly
ladies that
with
are
respect to outreach.
9s or
And so I think
10s
that is really
for $220
important.
bucks.
I'm just going to urge
Have yourself a
that
threesome
oversight
for
is no
the
longer
cost of a nice dinner.
reflected, in these reports going forward because it is problematic. Not, again, the fact that they land the morning of we're considering these extensions. For
I
me,
think it's pretty, John.
It
You
doesn't
don't
work.
think I
And so I
understand
really
pretty?
want to make sure that we
think it
have
is.
the utmost amount of
The canal
transparency and
color
communication.
of the water
in terms
isn't,
of, again,
but
going
I
back, we
like-
had this
I thought it was a
conversation
beautiful
through
place,
the budgetary
man.
process, which we will continue to engage in as we go forward, depending on what that process looks like. What I think is really important is that even when we have the numbers, for example, of which council offices have
No,
been
total,
engaged
Michael.
in the Inside
Marshall.
Safe operations,
Total.
we still don't have details about now when these individuals are placed into interim
Nah,
solutions.
you gotta
Are
remember,
they now
sir,
bumped
they-
ahead of
they
the
have to
queue of
get
individuals
tested.
that have already been placed in interim housing
In
solutions?
order to
or
work, look,
how
they
is that-
literally have like a working girl license. There's no pimps. There's working girl licenses out there. So they go over to like a hotel, and the hotel cleans the rooms and makes sure they have a nice maid who cleans the rooms and changes the sheets and gets the shower and everything clean. Because some girls you may shower with, whatever. They may wash you, whatever the fuck you want. You understand? And they rent the room. Okay, and they, in order to work, to keep their license, they gotta stay clean. So yeah, that's kind of how it works for the most part. There's actually a documentary about it, like the whole hotel and everything. You see the ladies coming in and how it kind of all works, how many euro they're paying for the room, and how they want like certain rooms because a lot of foot traffic there, so a lot of people can see. Because like I told you, it's a glass window with a door. They're beating on the window saying, hey, come in, open the door, open the door. That's what they're saying inside the room, knocking on the window as you're walking by. Because some of the alleys that you're walking by there are literally no wider than two people. Like two big dudes are not walking by shoulder without slamming into each other. That's how tight some of the corridors are. No joke. So that's what I'm saying. So it depends on where you are in the there's the water taxi pulling up. Where you are in the district. But yeah, man, it's fun. Go check it out. Tongue baths, everything. Or you can just go to a sex show. Go watch people fuck live. Like you go to like a movie theater and they're like boning in the movie theater. Everybody's just standing in line waiting to get in.
County side, getting better clarity. We've never had
Everybody
quite
does speak English there.
the substantial
Yeah, you're
amount
not gonna run
of,
any problems.
transparency when it comes to LASA resources as
They're
they're being
bilingual. They're
deployed.
speaking Dutch
and so
and English.
this isn't providing us much more. So I think I want to, for me, it's really important that we garner more of that information, that we're very clear about what we're delivering
fun, right,
for the
Carla?
resources that have been allocated, and ultimately, again, what is the longer
A
term
live show from
strategy?
the
What
you
is the
can't
actual
you
measure
can't
of
pull
what
your
success
cameras
looks
out
like?
tons in the
What it
red
looks
light
like when we're
district.
talking about this
There's
strategy.
things
I
everywhere.
appreciate
There's
the conversation with respect to ED1
signs
and
everywhere.
How that's going to help
Because
facilitate
again,
that.
the
None of that is
ladies are
reflected
half
in this
naked.
report.
They're in
So if
lingerie.
that
They're
is
not
part of
in
the
a
metric
fucking
of
t-shirt
how
and
we're
jeans,
evaluating the
so they
success
can
of this
show you how
emergency
nice they look in
order and what
jeans.
it helps
No,
to
they're in
facilitate,
thigh-high stockings and like
that
a
should be
corset,
transmitted to us as well.
and they're like a
So I
9.
just wanted to communicate that
What
with
you'd
you all.
consider like a
and,
9 here.
And again, I'm going to end up
Could probably be a print
providing
model
much greater detail in
with a
writing
body and a
some of the
face like
metrics
that,
I
you know,
think
seriously, no joke.
some of the information that
And
I
most of them
believe
are
I
from
need
Eastern
in order
Europe,
to continue to
countries that they don't
ensure
have
that
a
we
whole lot of
proper
money.
Transparency and
They're
disclosure
pretty
far
girls
in
from
advance of the day of,
wherever like I
these
said,
items come before this council.
over there, and Russia and Czechoslovakia and
Putting it in writing. And the concern, which I
Croatia.
think is felt by
Those
him.
kind of countries are
I'd like
it's
to
hard to
discuss
earn a
and
buck sometimes.
unpack that just a bit.
They make their way to the
There are
dam
a
and
number of things you
and
mentioned,
work
Councilwoman. I will leave
and work for
to
themselves.
Matt Zabo in a bit. to
No
talk
pimp.
about county contributions, and then I'll add a little bit about qualitative work that is not.
Telling you,
happening
Gex,
tonight.
it's really it's fun, man. You go
As
over
it
there and then you get
relates,
on one of these
to
boats with your homies. There's
I wouldn't say
smokeboat.com.
that the mayor's
So these
office-
dudes will roll up with a boat. You can have the boat to yourself with you and 10 of your homies for 200 euro. Okay? And they'll take you all around the red light district, everywhere else in the canals, driving 3-4 knots, really slow. Listening to Marley. They got alcohol aboard if you like alcohol. So if you want Heineken's, which is a beer from Holland, have at it. Or bring you all the weed, because that's what you go to the red light district because that's a lot of where the coffee shops are. So you go to the red light district, they pick you up there, you have your weed, Then you go aboard and have fun. Just listen to music. Everything's good. You got a sober driver. They're taking you everywhere where, all the cool spots. It's fucking dope.
Housing into permanent housing. All of these questions and many more that you may be interested
Yeah, I
in.
think it was like 220 euro gigs.
Most of that
I think
data,
that's
if
what
not
we
all
we
of
gave him
that
a little
data,
more, like 240.
is contained
Gave him a $40
within
tip, I think,
a
something like
federal
that.
system
It's cheap.
that Mr. Blumenfield has struggled with for a long time. The HMIS
It's just
data system.
cool vibes, man.
That data in our community is held by LASA. We don't have access to it in the mayor's office, and neither do any of you. It is something that we are working on, but I will tell you, in order
It's a
to
city
get to
that
the
I'd
point
like to go
where
experience
we
by
could give
myself
you, in
as well as
conjunction,
with my friends
jointly,
again.
the CAO staff
Like to
and
do
the
it
mayor's
2
staff,
times.
verified data on human beings who have gone through the system, who have a myriad of difficulties.
It's not far from
right
here,
as we get them
Catherine.
through, is something that is controlled
10-minute walk
at this
from
point
right here where my
completely by
fingers
law.
are at.
They.
'Cause
when
I'm
you
trying to
start
see. It's
an
like
effort of
right
this
here. If you notice, there's a hole in the ground right here. You see
even
it?
though it is a pilot.
You see the hole?
It is not something that LASA had
Okay, so
ever.
that
been
hole right
asked to
there
do
is
on
there's a
regular
train
basis.
that you're gonna take that takes
So
you into the
just
dam,
because-
into Amsterdam.
So they
This
have
is the
been
very last stop.
Unable, although
So you
wanting
can't
to
miss
work
it.
with
The
us,
train literally
the
just
mayor's
goes back
office
the other
staff
way.
has spent
Same way it
countless-
came, on the same track.
Countless hours.
Okay.
Working
It's
with
just
our
like a one-way
counterparts
deal.
at LASA
So you get out,
and
you
with
come
our
right here,
counterparts at the CAO's
and then
office
again, you
to
can
work
either
on
take the little
developing
tram
a
or,
particular
the
module
walk isn't that far.
where
I
they
suggest
would
the
now
walk.
be able
It's
to enter
nice.
the information, have it verified.
All kinds
and we
of,
could
like I
actually
said,
present it to you.
dress shops,
So a lot
tennis
of this
shoes.
data,
If you love shoes,
to
this
get
is a
to
cool
the
place to
numbers
go.
of how many people have been entered has taken untold effort.
All kinds of stuff. And
so
then when
that
you get
it
to
is
the the
accurate.
red light district, like I said, then you'll
We
see
are
the
not yet
ladies,
at the
then you'll
system,
see
so
the
we have now an
the
Insight Safe
weed,
module, which did not
the
exist
sex
2 months
fucking
ago.
the
We are
sex
also now
museum
working
and all that
with
shit.
LASA and others
What's up,
on
D-Fog?
being able to report
So,
on
yeah.
exits, on how long it takes to get from interim to out.
I don't
Where
believe
are
there's
people
guys for the
exactly in
women.
which hotel, what city council
Miss
district.
Catherine, I don't.
That is
I do
impossible
see
because
women
everybody has a unique
and
identifier number and the right to privacy.
couples
What
go
we
in.
can tell you is
that
that
I
when
do
you
see,
enter
but I
into
don't
this
see any
level
men for the women.
of a
Because I'll be
pilot,
honest,
you
you
reveal-
know, for the most part, women could get laid. Let's be honest. Doesn't even really matter what you look like, as long as you dolled up for the night and went to certain places. You're gonna find somebody that'll be interested. That's just usually how dudes are. So, I guess they feel like dick's worthless in that sense. You know what I mean? In that sense, it's not really worth that much. No ladies are going to be standing there in line waiting to get laid by some dude, No, I know. I'm just explaining, Catherine. I know. And I think that's really how it works. You guys have all the power, I mean, you guys kind of get laid when you want, in a sense. Now, obviously, not every guy wants to have sex with every woman. Surely not. Not saying that. But I would say on average, it's a lot easier for a woman, to get laid than a man does, So it is what it is, like I said, the way it works here, like I said, in Europe, it's just different. They look at sex different than we do here. It's quite open, Like I told you that I keep telling you about the story of the dude's dick out on the fucking poster. His hairy ass balls and dick just hanging out on a poster at a bus stop. Like, you know what I mean? The kids are just sitting there staring at that. It don't matter because it's not, the way it is here. That kind of poster would never fly here. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. HBO Real. Does that thing still on? Show's not on anymore, right? Real Sex? I like the other one, not Real Sex, but the Taxi Cab one. The Taxi Cab Confessions or something like that. I think that's what it was. That was a show I thought was pretty good. They're sitting there opening up to everything. Didn't even know they was getting fucking recorded. They should do a new version of that. Right? That's 90s. But it would be, look, that they should do Uber confessions now. I mean, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Finding Uber drivers, picking, men and women up that are just tossed after a fucking long night of the club. It's usually how it was, right? They'd always pick them up from the club, or you know what I mean? That's usually what it was. They was always a little faded, or they were going to the club. Yeah. Insomniac would be great. I'd love to have Dave Attell's show back. I'd love to Up All Night. Yeah. That shit was good. There's YouTube, Uber live streamers. Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same. I don't know. See, the problem is with that is like, I think with that kind of show, it really was all about the editing. You know, you have too much fat. So you really didn't need to cut out a lot of the fat. So if you're watching a live streamer, there's a whole lot of fat amongst the good meaty shit. Right? But there's, you know what I mean? So what I want to do is cut the fat out, and that's where the editing comes in. That's why I kind of like Cops in a sense. So yeah, sure, it's edited. Sure, it's not uncut and raw, but either was the live PD. So my whole thought process is like, when I'm watching Cops, well, I know something. If I'm watching it, something's about to happen. Because it made the show. If it made the show, obviously something good happened. Versus, oh, well, let's go here or let's go there because nothing's happening. Let's go here, let's go there. You know, so that's kind of, I don't know. So that's why I say some shows, it is really about the editing. And I think that, you know, that show, you know, the Taxi Cab Confessions, I think it really was a good show, and it was about the editing and the content of it. And I mean, we don't even really get that anymore. Like, people are all so concerned about these writers on strike. It's like, let them stay on strike. What are they fucking producing? What are they producing that you even give a fuck about? Spider-Man 19? Fast and Furious 27? What is it that they're producing that you love so much? Taxi Cab Confessionals. Ah, that's what it was. Okay. I mean, what are they doing? What are they doing that they command the money that they need it so bad? They're killing your income. Well, I'm sorry for that. There is always a ripple effect. That's the sad, you know, the sad part of it, you know. Just like this, you know, we're talking about this whole development. If this development doesn't go through, then you're talking, you know, $100 million that's not going to go to all types of workers and all kinds of things. So, you know, there's a double-edged sword to everything, right? You know, but where does impacting the environment, I guess, and capitalism stop, you know, and impacting the environment begin, kind of thing. And do you have a conscience? You know, some of these folks don't. They just do. Because they figure there's a short time on Earth. I want to live here. And if I could die tomorrow, we'll just keep pushing it. You know, become a machine and keep pushing. And that's the problem with, you know, some successful people. Not all, some. They get addicted to the success. So they want to win at everything. And no matter what it is, even if it's just a public fight. And then that, you know, again, it'll suffice for the moment, you know, but then they'll need it. It's a drug, you know, and then they get dope sick and they need to win again. They crush somebody out on the daily. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. College campus PD, you talking about Officer Pickelstein? He was the dopest. The Alphabet Soup Group has a new taxi service called Luber. I don't even know who the Alphabet Soup Group is, and Luber. It's awesome. Sounds good. Luber. You think it was scripted? Well, I mean, you know, again, they're going to want to have, you know, shots of the van or whatever, you know, but, or the taxi. But, I mean, you could do that without it being scripted, I guess. But I don't know. So next you're going to tell me Bang Bus was scripted. Shout out to the Bang Bus, man. How come I never get pulled up on the Bang Bus? You know what I mean? I want to go on the Bang Bus.
16337 Mandalay Drive at the residence, incident 2510.
Hey! She not putting out?
Oh, on the Bang Bus, she is, sir. On the Bang Bus, she is.
14 units 311 man, 8101 Langdon Avenue, Sussex to mailbox, 30 years, has his door, his unit open and walks out to tenants. It's code 2 incident 251490
Got his door open, got his dick out.
Go away, baiting.
No, come in here, I'm baiting.
Quit playing with your dinghy.
Yeah, get some hot young thing walking by, looking at his dick like, holy shit.
I am no pervert.
What's the bang bus? Oh, you gotta Google it, Tony D. Check it out. Just Google bang bus. You'll see. You'll love it. You'll love it, sir.
Giggity, 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 goo.
Capitalism is also bad because then these people become rich. Rich people fail. Not for communism, socialism, neither. You gotta stand for something, or otherwise you'll fall for everything, bro. You know, this country was built on capitalism, and if the immigrants in this country didn't have that thought process, you know, we wouldn't be where we are as a whole, as a country. You know, we wouldn't be as powerful. You know, it was all their hard work that they put in and decided to come here with $2 and eat meagerly for years to start their own business and become a businessman and leave that business when they passed to their family and they took it on and so on and so forth. And I think, you know, capitalism does more good than bad. Puts a lot of food on your table, clothes a lot of people. If these people weren't capitalists and decided to just sit on their money and have no business, a lot of people wouldn't have jobs.
Sigil Street, 2443 Sigil Street. Suspect vehicles a red van, license plate of 4 Adam Union Henry 404, 4 Adam Union
Oh,
Henry
where's that?
404. Suspect small Hispanic, 50 years, gray shirt, maroon pants. Code 3 incident 2517 9415.
It is almost a necessary evil. You know what I mean? It's look, it's not like anybody doesn't have the chance to do it. If you do, you do. You got a good idea and it pops. That's just it. It's how it works. And then you're hiring people, and then you're becoming big, and then you become the enemy. That's why I laugh when people say that, oh, rich people are, you know, are just, you know, if you're rich, you're just the enemy. So what happens when you're poor and you win the lotto? You know, so you automatically, because you won the lotto, you won 20 million in the lotto, so now automatically you're an asshole.
The traffic 1800 South Bonnie Bray.
Is that how that works?
You do employing the white work truck number W54403.
Well, that's the problem, John.
2530 295.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Successful people, they don't understand when enough is enough, because you got to remember, success is the drug. So to them, there is never enough. That word enough doesn't really exist in their vocabulary when it comes to business. Maybe food when they're eating. I've had enough. No more coffee. I've had enough. That's it. You know, that's almost conceding. It's almost, quitting. So you got to remember this. A lot of people are really driven, dude. They are super driven. They're never not thinking about more and just enough is enough. They're just never doing that. You can see the train back there pulling in. It's it's what you gotta it's what you gotta realize, And some people, they live life meagerly, and money is of no consequence to them, and they don't have a whole lot of it. They just use it to pay bills to survive, but it doesn't mean a whole lot to them. Their life doesn't revolve around it. Then there's others that it does revolve around it, and they need more. And that Lamborghini and this and that isn't enough.
415
They need more.
Bus 6 in Harvard, bus number 1923 holding eastbound 6. Suspects are multiple street vendors. Boarded the bus, blocking the door, refusing to exit. Code 2 incident 253 2024.
So you get, you got to look. Everybody's kind of different, And then how many people that you don't think of that are super wealthy, that are philanthropists, that really are giving back fucking hundreds of millions of dollars to just different, organizations who should be giving that money to the homeless or to the St. Jude's or wherever it's supposed to go, and then they siphon off that. You know what I mean? Oh, the racist is talking.
Save for a few other members who weren't present here, we all voted unanimously.
Just want to hear if they boo him or anything.
For both the CAO and the CLA, but the executive branch more specifically, to start establishing a homeless department in the long term for the city of LA, given the fact that we have a sort of a very dysfunctional approach and the way we've been tackling the homelessness
17
crisis
workaholic, already
for
putting
years, if
regular-
not
It's a
for
great
decades.
thing, Mayor.
Obviously, it predates.
It's nothing bad. Teach them a backbone. Teach them the
current mayor.
value of a dollar.
So
I
the
wish 'em
issue
well.
also too with regards to governance, governmental reforms within LAHSA as well too. I think that a lot of folks sharing that sense of frustration in that we can't
Well,
get
I don't know if
basic
it's ego,
information
Kevin.
from LAHSA, yet at the same time,
I think it's more
the executive branch.
maybe just people are
of
angry
local
about
government has
constant
5
development,
appointees
and it
to
bothers them.
The LAHSA governance board.
And the constant
And the very fact that we
growing
have those
of
appointees
people's bank
we make
accounts
those
that are
appointments,
doing
yet
these
we
things.
can't
I
get
don't
very
know.
simple, basic information. And as well as our counterparts in the county, they have 5 appointees, and it's sort of kind of we're all pointing in different directions. And
I mean, I see
given
both sides of
these
it.
very abstract, ambiguous, Kafka-like, bureaucratic answers why we can't get very simple, basic information. I would totally
What happened
understand
on the
why
other
the
side of
public
his
as a
collar,
whole
like-
are angry
Is
or
that like a nut
frustrated
stain?
because the data.
Did he go and beat off on himself, and that was like the Mary? What was it? Something about Mary? Instead of landing on his ear, it landed on his collar.
Or whether it's through litigation, we should be able to secure that
chest?
information.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even check
And
that
I'm not
out.
placing the blame, obviously, on you. This has been going on for a
Just
long,
something's
long
going
time.
on with the collar on the other
I
side. It
was
straight looks like there's a
asking
stain on
Mr.,
there.
Marquise Harris-Dawson,
Like that.
when the establishment
Somebody
of LAHSA
threw something on there. It
took
looks
place,
like
and I think
glue,
it
or
was
I don't know. Something's going on. Can you see it?
James Hahn.
That collar that's
So
closest
since
to
James
you,
Hahn,
the one without the lapel pin.
Antonio
the other side.
Villaraigosa,
Stare at the
Eric
collar,
Garcetti,
like right
we
here.
had this issue going on, ad
Telling you, there's
nauseum,
some
so
white
that's obviously
stains
a sense of
going on.
frustration. Since we had that council file that is sitting on
Hold on,
someone's
let me see if I
desk,
can even zoom in.
my request is, can we get some action with regards to that council file that we all voted on unanimously?
I can speak to that. That,
of
that
course.
motion did direct the
You
CEO to
motherfucker.
report back. I will, as I recall, though, Councilman, it wasn't instructing our office to recommend the establishment. As I recall, though, Councilman, it wasn't.
We don't have a homeless department, which is accurate. Not as of yet, but I know that we have Council File 22-0799.
Bro, that's nut.
-S1.
I mean,
where
that, or he
sometime
only has
last year,
dandruff on one side.
Save for a few other members who weren't
What's going
present
on
here.
there?
We all voted.
I don't see it on the other side.
For both the CAO and the CLA, but the executive
That
branch
shit looks
more
like some
specifically,
fap cream and shit.
to start establishing a homeless department in the long term for the city of LA, given the fact that
going on over
we
there?
have a sort of a very dysfunctional approach and the way
Coke
we've
on
been
one side only?
tackling,
It's Coke
the homelessness
sprinkles?
crisis for years, if not for decades. Obviously it predates, a current mayor. So the issue also too with regards to governance, governmental reforms within LAHSA as well too. I think that a lot of folks. Agenda. Sometimes a different way of looking at things. So that's all factored in, and that's all very legitimate. So it's clear that is in the process. So we will be seeing some a work product, sometime shortly. Mr. Rodriguez may have mentioned it somewhat. I know you mentioned it in the beginning. In the
Powdered
early,
donut only on one
portion of your
side? It'd be
comments
everywhere, and
with
it'd be a
regards
lower.
to LA
Well,
County
was he eating the
and
powdered
what their
donut with his ear?
contributions have been more specifically. Could
Fuck
you,
outta here, bro.
provide
That
us
shit
a
looks-
little more
looks
detailed
wet,
information? Because
and
I
then it
think
looks
that,
like there's
and I'd
white
give,
sprinkles on
the chair
top.
of the budget committee lots of credit,
Bro,
Mr. Blumenfield. I know
I
he's
wanna
trying
let you
to
know.
elegantly land this plane. of
He
the
ain't
$250
he ain't
million.
got
I think
no
there has
gel in
been
his hair
concern
either.
with
Don't tell me
regards
it's
to
some
transparency,
mousse.
accountability, report backs, in
Tres
details.
flores. It's
And
none of
will
that.
we be stepping up and doing the work
None
of
of that.
DMH?
There's no hair
Will we be
product in that
stepping up
man's
and
hair.
doing the work of Department of Public Health?
I'll
when
let
we
you
have
know right now. That ain't
another
no ear
governmental
wax.
entity that's charged in doing
That's
that.
that's a nut shot.
Arguments can
That's
be
a
made that maybe they're falling short, and will we be paying for those, services?
They
Well,
try to
potentially.
wipe it.
So what?
And then it's
what I
like,
can
you
do-
know,
I'm sorry, before you
it's like
begin
the
your
lint
answer, I just
from
want to
the paper
remind
towel.
members that the agenda item before us is whether to renew the emergency declaration.
They don't
And
even
so
know the
while
agenda item.
reporting requirements that we included in
Yeah,
that
we're gonna love
approval
tonight,
of the
Billy.
emergency declaration are appropriate for us to discuss. This is not really the time for the comprehensive discussion about homelessness strategy, and we do have committees that are beginning at 2 a.m. So, Mr. Zabo, if I
What
could
I
ask
can
we
do
need
there,
to
just
hurry up and
before
get
the
out of
credit
here.
Right there is just ask for it back. In
We need to
writing,
hurry
so
up
he
and get
doesn't
out
have
of
to
here.
verbalize it,
You're taking way
so
too long.
for
Basically,
time.
that's what that meant.
Absolutely.
You're off
and
topic.
what you've heard from members, I think, and we will, still want to give Councilmember Hernandez an opportunity as well. But I think what you've heard from members is the importance of having comprehensive reporting back to this agency, back to this body. And I will just say quickly, I'm not a fan of emergency declarations. And the very simple reason
have a room
is
temperature
because
IQ,
the charter gives
Catherine.
this council
I don't know
the
too much,
authority
that's for sure.
to make policy and to do all of the other things that are being purported to be done under an emergency declaration.
What's up, Sky?
Unless there are reasons that those cannot be fulfilled. An emergency declaration gives us the opportunity to avoid normal procurement process and so many other things.
I got
so
kicked
it is
off of Twitter,
imperative
Kevin.
that this
They
council
threw me off of
have
Twitter for
detailed
good.
reports back regularly, not for the council's sake, for the public's sake, so that we know as the representatives of the public exactly what's happening. So I think that's been made clear by the members.
And just one last question, not to be
please,
answered, but just a question. So
one
they can
last
report
point,
back.
then we'll go to Councilmember Hernandez, and then if you
And
want to push your button again.
Ms. Marquez had mentioned 170 individuals from Skid Row to LA Grand Hotel in the Inside Safe program. Could we get, a report back on the details disaggregated by council district? Those who are participating in Inside Safe.
Panda?
How many individuals by council district and where specifically they are ending up? Specifically. I think it's very important.
To most of that, I would say absolutely yes. The only area where I'd want to caution is that we are not giving out the names or addresses of the hotels to protect the participants' privacy. They are open to all kinds of people who just want to show up. So we can talk generally, but we're
They don't want protests
spoken
going
to
on
the city
outside,
attorney and others
essentially.
about how to protect the privacy of these people. So another way, I'm happy to speak to you about it, absolutely, but we don't want it out in the world.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'm sure that you can,
done.
whether it's in a closed session,
We should have been
you
done a
could give
long
us
time
a
ago.
general park idea as a legislative branch that will approve or not approve $250 million going to the executive branch, that I think we can be entrusted, with that, information.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
I'm,
much, Mr.
I'm
President.
sure we'll be discussing that more in the budget discussion, as that is next year's budget. Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you so much, Matt and Mercedes, for being here. A question around the executive directives, because I know that has been helpful to move forward some projects along. Would love an update around how the LADWP policies have been going. I know that there's been some things that have moved to make projects move forward more expediently. I mean, construction projects.
It ain't Coke. Who has Coke shoulder? Trust me, ain't no Coke. They'll have Coke on their face. They'll have Coke down here. They don't got Coke up here. You don't use Coke in your ears.
Advanced?
Nobody got Coke
And
shoulder.
what barriers are there to do so?
It's a nut
and
shot.
Then I have one more
That's all it
question.
can
but
be.
If we could have the
End
answer
of
to that, that'd be
discussion.
great.
On public land, I believe that this morning we put up on the mayor's website our
What do you got,
second
Coke
report
shoulder?
about
Google
where
it.
we are in public
Google
land.
Coke
We
shoulder.
followed all
See
the
what comes up.
deadlines on ED3.
Nothing.
I would until time sends you there, I can come see you about it. to
He wiped
discuss
it on his shoulder?
There are lots of considerations about cost and work to consider about how we use the public
doubt
money.
that one.
We are trying to take a more innovative approach.
You
and
just
so
won't
not
let
just
it
put
be.
the private
It's a
land, the
nut
public
shot.
land out like in public, but understand what is the most
was beating off in the
strategic way
back.
to use it. Some of
He
that is
shot up
listed in the
here.
report.
It
I'll
landed.
make sure that you receive
It took
a
a
copy, Councilman,
brawny,
and
bigger picker,
so
the
when-
quicker
at
picker
another
upper.
time when you want to discuss it. And
And you can
know,
see all the
anytime, just
white
call.
little lint balls.
But I'll make sure you get it.
Thank you.
So there's that.
And the DWP piece?
That is.
I think I'm on
I'm not
5,
the best person
Killa.
to speak to that, so I'll have someone in the office contact you about it.
Okay, great. Thank you. So a couple things, and I'll be fast, Council President.
Hurry
but,
up.
We've heard about, the executive directives, hopefully turning into policies that we move forward. If possible, in the next report that we get and subsequent reports, can there be a section on recommended policies that we can begin to implement and start discussing so that we're not at the end of this, emergency declaration trying to figure it out? But if we could just start building towards that, and the recommendations from you all as you're coming across these barriers would be really helpful.
Yes, we feel that now particularly, we learned a lot on ED1, on the process. Now on ED3, as we come kind of to the end of the evaluation, we have things that we can share, so absolutely.
Great, thank you. Would love to see those. And then the last piece is, we're talking about $250 million, but what we haven't talked about at all, thank you for my colleagues for bringing it up, but it's like how much we're paying the outreach workers in comparison to this overall work that we're doing. Like, these folks are on that pipeline to become homeless themselves, these outreach workers. And so as we're talking about money, would really love to put them at the forefront to figure out how we can pay them a thrivable wage, not just not even survivable, like they're on the pipeline to homelessness. So would love to just make sure that that's a part of the conversation, just like we've talked about increasing community intervention workers' salaries. We can't be asking people to work beyond Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and paying a job that requires them to get another job just to make it through. So,
Well, why not?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how they've been doing it for
Thank
years,
you.
apparently.
Councilmember Rodriguez, to close.
Right? Apparently,
I'll
it's
be
how it's
quick.
going on now. Apparently, so
Ms.
why?
Hernandez,
why
thank you
stop
very
now?
much. I actually want to let you know that actually
They don't
LAHSA
care,
actually
apparently.
unionized the outreach workers, and that's why they, there was some, my concern is contracting the work out and not making sure that we're actually protecting and preserving those unionized jobs, right? So that's a separate conversation. What I want to just kind of close with is that, through the roadmaps process, through some of our, whether it was Paxton and Bradley in my district or a number of the operations, we actually received with regularity. We recognize the HIPAA constraints that don't allow us to get details. All we need to know are the numbers and where they're placed, and that, simple enough, that can actually be derived, and it's provided with regularity every 2 weeks to my office, I'm sure to every council office, with respect to
They
the
ain't
outreach
high.
efforts from LAHSA.
They're high off all
So
the money they
I just
steal.
want to make sure that we're closing the loops on where people think we can or cannot get information. We are able to get it. I want to make sure that we're able to get it in association with this effort as well, that it is possible. And I just want to make sure that it's part of the conversation and the reporting that we're getting as part of this effort.
Thank you. I just want to clarify. One thing is to receive numbers on how many
And
people.
I want
an
to clarify.
outreach
There's
worker
another meeting
has-
starting in 26
has
minutes
dealt
in that
with,
chamber.
has met. It is
Somebody's
a very
fucking
different
diamond
thing
is
to
blanging
get a
over
report
there.
on how many have actually been entered
shining
into
in the
housing
light.
and are now within the system. They can click off and tell you I spoke to this many people.
She's
It's
watching Smoke and
unverified.
Scan on her phone.
How many people have gone through HMIS
Yes,
and
you
housing?
are on
That's a
Smoke
very
and Scan.
different thing. So that has to be verified. That has to be validated. That has to be accurate. So that's why it takes longer.
Absolutely right, and that has to be reported back to this council as part of this process as well. Let's land this plane with Councilmember Soto Martinez.
I will be brief, Council President. First of all, thank you so much for both of you for coming here, reporting. This is not an easy task. I sense the frustration, and I do not envy you the work, although we're here partners to make sure that we solve the city's issues. Thank you for the report. Also, I think for the next one, I and maybe enter into a collaborative process. I don't know if it's here or in private, but just try to identify which encampments. Ours was very successful. We had 64 out of 65 people get placed. Would love to do more. Obviously, I know that's a citywide strategy we need to engage in. But my district has the fourth
Not a
most
one, Kevin,
unhoused,
never.
Unsheltered. So
That
hopefully,
won't happen
you
ever.
know, talking about equity, really give 13 a little love. But the identification of that and the little more extensive details, I agree with my colleagues, but we'll work through that. But I just want to say thanks for coming and giving the report.
That's one more than zero.
Thank you.
Okay.
Councilmember Hernandez, did you want to be heard?
Yes, just sorry. I'll be fast.
Please,
Sorry.
briefly, please.
Thank you, Council President.
Again.
Is there a way for staff involved in Inside Safe to keep estimated counts in lieu of the HMIS system?
Not accurate ones.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's go ahead
Right, Kevin?
on this item.
64
We
for
have
240.
the
Sounds about right.
reconfirmation of the emergency declaration before us. I see no other members wishing to be heard. Madam Clerk, do we need to? Are we good to go on this vote? Okay, so let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
Deserve to be a Dodger fan.
14 eyes.
Very good.
14
Thank you very
ayes.
much. Mr. Harris Dawson, did you want
I
to
didn't
make
get
an
a
announcement
harumph
about
out of
Plum
that
Committee?
guy.
Hopefully we can start at 2:30 as opposed to 2.
Thank you very much. And Councilmember Park.
No, that won't.
Travel
be
and
happening.
tourism at 2:30.
Trade, Travel, and Tourism and Plum will both begin at 2:30. Thank you very much. With that, we are prepared to go into closed session. So I'd like the members of the public who are
Get
here,
the fuck
thank you
out.
very much for being here. We're going to now proceed into closed session, so you'll need to
Get the
vacate
fuck
the
out.
chambers. And
Need
members,
to get the fuck
I'd like
out.
to ask that only essential staff remain in the chambers.
You'll need to get the fuck out. Hopefully somebody yells, it gets crazy. Come on. Where's Mr. Herman? Did you roll back up into the chambers? Nah. Mr. Chambers got fucking thrown out twice in 2 days. Twice in 2 shows, dude. He had not making it. You know what it really is I guess we need him to take his pills so he just relaxes, but that ain't gonna happen because then you don't get him. Where the fuck was Mr. Harlan and where the fuck was Mr. Spindler? And really, even where's Eric Previn? I didn't even get to hear Eric Previn. That dude's always up in the joint. Like, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. But guys, we'll be online live tonight at 8 p.m. for all our madness. So 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please adjust to your time zones. And I guess that's it, man. I mean, it was a pretty sucky LA City Council meeting, along with a pretty sucky chase. Hopefully it's just not sucky day, but might be that. Thanks to NLM and Raiden in here and everybody who came with them. Thank you to you guys for always coming through and hanging out with me. And I guess that's it. Remember, guys, we'll be live tomorrow as well with the LA City Council as well. So, you know, you get one more chance tomorrow and Friday. Maybe tomorrow's show will be a little better. Hopefully they'll be... Oh, no, hey, yeah. No. No. You already broke that one, Stunks. Dang you. You already broke that one. Sorry, guys. He's already... See, look, we don't even get the... Thanks. Guys, I'm going to blame that one on the cat because he's right here on top of the... On top of the shit. Thank you, Stinkums, for making sure you got that last little bit in on me. Let me make sure I'm out of here. But guys, I'm out of here before the cat breaks anything else. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you again, like I said, at... let me go to the helicopter here. Go to the Up with Voltron. Thank you, Stinks. Appreciate you. So yeah, I will be out of here. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you at 8 p.m. tonight. Just to your time zones, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So until then, have a fantabulous day. And on behalf of Stink Bomb over here, just to see that I'm not lying. Look at him. You see? That's the problem I have right there. So that's it. You guys have a good one. Much love.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Take her easy, dude.